Hello, everyone, and welcome to the library. I am the author of all the things we gather in the library every week to learn and explore stories old and new. Tonight, we join the USS Gungnir and the USS Nightingale of the 10th Expeditionary Fleet to play Star Trek Adventures, a tabletop RPG by our friends at Modifius. Every week, we continue our adventures on the wild and wonderful frontier of the Federation. And today, we're going to be getting ready to save some people. Hopefully. Maybe more people than we thought. So, everyone say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Alana.
Hi.
Greetings.
Hello.
Bonjour.
Oh gosh.
Mariah, it's
All right, so we're gonna have a lot of people in here tonight. Actually, let's go ahead and go down on the list and have everyone just as kind of introduce yourselves and your character. Starting at the top, Captain Ross.
Hi, Captain Fenton Ross, Captain of the Gungnir, and Bajoran Male, and
Betazoid.
Betazoid.
did I say Beta? Did I always say Bajoran? Betazoid, thank you. It'd be helpful if I could know my own race. One of those B things. Anyway.
All right, and Commander Desesh.
Commander Desesh, commander of the Nightingale and a Bajoran male.
And Dr. Kai.
Hi, Betazoid, Chief Medical Officer. Good evening, everyone.
And Chief Medical Officer of the USS Gungnir.
Correct.
Yep. We have two ships here. All right. Captain Morgana.
Yep. Captain Nira Morgana, captain of the USS Nightingale, former CMO of the USS Gungnir.
And Mr. Fox.
Oh,
I am.
Lorian.
I am the Forever Lieutenant, Caleb Fox, the literal and figurative hammer of the Gungnir and its Chief of Security.
And Hakuri.
Lieutenant Commander Kiana Hakuri on the Nightingale. I am Trill, joined, and I'm the admin of the Biolab.
And I also play Jill Lawson, half Ryzen, half Betazoid. Lieutenant Commander and Chief of Security, Engineering, and Science, overall ship operations.
And Commander Atram.
Lieutenant Commander Atram, Klingon. It's a weird status, kind of like an officer exchange, except for he's actually a Starfleet officer. We'll work out the details later. But he is the chief engineer of the USS Gungnir.
And Vera.
Vera Orion, she's the con officer on the Gungnir.
All right, now that we got through the awkward introduction in part, tell me one thing that you regret in the third grade. No. Let's not do that. And of course, I am the author. I'm the GM for the Gungnir game, and today, I'm going to be taking control of this herd of cats and leading them through the story. And with that in mind, let's go ahead and cut to our opening credits. And we have to add a bunch of threat. And we're no longer in yellow alert. All right, that button's not working. All right, we are less we left off. We were at yellow alert on a standoff between the okay, not the super dramatic music. Yeah. Bring your attention here. We are at the tense standoff between the Gungnir and the Vulture Harvester ship. They've come to something assuming a ceasefire, or both their shields are still up, and they have made indications that they're willing to come over to talk. Captain, if you can give us a log updating in this situation.
Captain's log update. After a very rough first attempt, we have extended the olive branch to the Necrovians and have returned 2 of their prisoners. And hopefully we've taken a cautious step towards a dialogue. We have invited some of the Necrovians aboard for talks to see if we can arrange for the return of the Starfleet and Anerthian hostages by peaceful means. I hope we can find a way to do this without further bloodshed. I will continue my efforts to bring them over here and see what we can do. End of log.
Okay. We have that going on, and the Nightingale, you have been brought into this system, but we're kind of told to hang back in the outskirts and wait for the all clear from the Gungnir, and you've kind of just been watching this battle from a far long range sensors. There was a little exchange of fire, or at least 2 shots each side, and there was a couple short warp jumps intra system, and they appear to have come to a stop. And it's at this point that you receive the tentative all clear signal from the Gungnir ops officer.
Okay. She'll have the ship brought into the system.
Pick a direction. I'll throw the token down.
Try not to spook them.
Well, assuming they don't know what a Prometheus class is, I think we're good. Although,
fun for me.
They still outnumber us like 2 to 1, so it should be fine, right?
It's a fair fight.
Although I am partial to my EXO's decision to call this the Nightingale class starship. Anyway,
it's an ongoing discussion.
But yeah, yellow alert, shields, no weapons.
Indicate you with yellow. Gungnir still at yellow.
Correct. Yeah, no shields, no weapons.
Well, yellow is shields, yes. Weapons, no.
We'll match whatever the Necrovians are doing.
Well, technically, she has a ready status. Shields are optional at that stage as well. Red alert is the only one where they're actively up when it's called.
Can we start passively scanning the life signs of our objective hostages, basically?
You're still a ways out. So each one of these boxes is one zone. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you're just way too far out. You have to be somewhere in. You have to be somewhere in this circle to even attempt it. But long range sensors, you can tell there's a ship there. The giant freaking ship, and it has shields up.
Okay. And other than showing up, we know that the Gungnir is opening talks with them.
Mm-hmm. Assuming in Captain you want that communicated with them.
Yes, they should.
Yeah.
They can know.
Good. Just so happens I have a trained negotiator on board. So she will change the commander's assignment to go to the Gungnir to help them with negotiations. Because he is a trained negotiator. Is he not?
Absolutely. He gives you a dirty look nonetheless.
Oh, that's fine.
Right away, Captain. I head to transporter room 3, and shields are up, though. Are we in a position to transfer me?
We can have Deers move us right behind the Gungnir.
The Gungnir will also have to drop shields, though.
I could just come over in a shuttlecraft, though, right?
Unless we raised them at any point, they would have still been down from the transport of the prisoners.
You did raise them. You did raise them after the transfer of.
We'll just make this easy. Nero will contact the Gungnir and say, I have somebody that may be able to help you in your negotiations. Would you mind dropping your shield so we can send him over?
In this kind of standoff, shouldn't I just use a shuttlecraft?
Well, frankly, I don't know what other ships they have out here, so I would rather not risk it.
Transporters are more efficient anyways.
We'll go ahead and drop shields long enough for the transport.
If you're willing to drop the shields, okay. All right, I go head to the transporter room.
And then she'll just smirk and say, "It's good to see you, Fennon." And then she'll smile and kind of cut the comms.
Thank you for your assistance.
She'll. No problem.
So, Captain Rost, how do you want to do this?
Well, we had extended the invitation to the Necrovians, and I believe they were accepting at the end of the last game. Is that right?
They are accepting, yes.
Okay. So I guess we'll need to make exact arrangements as to who's coming over for dinner and what they're eating.
Or who.
Yeah, Fox, you're going to be the guest of honor at dinner this evening.
Looks at Rost.
Morgana.
Try it, sir, and I'll show you what my mirror did, only worse.
Morgana makes a mean luau pig.
Yeah, that's my security officer you're talking about.
You were already offering up as the main course. I have a hammer, you have a face. What did Mirror Fox do to you?
Anyway,
Oh, Mirror Fox.
Let's do
Pencil.
a presence. Let's do a presence command and roll to see about negotiating all these transfers and shield movements and make sure that we're not going to spook anyone. Let's see. You're starting off from a alien race, very alien race, but we do have the advantage of a trade language. It's not a perfect translation, but it's at least functional. But that unfortunately brings A's complication up for misunderstandings.
Can I argue Nira's assistant and then activating her Elorian trait, which would get rid of the complication?
What's the Elorian trait do?
Let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah.
Also, very quickly,
It's
does
social combat though.
Oh, yes.
Does anybody else have close-knit crew?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Then just the one momentum.
Yep. Because the Gungnir crew is so close, they generate 1 momentum.
Elorians. Oh, it's difficulty. Reduce difficulty. Sorry.
For what reason? What trait? What narrative trait?
This species are masters of listening. They understand listening is an active skill and involves taking into consideration things as body language, tone of voice, as well as words that other beings are speaking. Elorians may use this trait to reduce the difficulty of social interaction tasks. Elorians know that time is on their side. They never feel the need to rush, and it goes on to extended task stuff. But here, I'll send you to the thing.
No, that's fine. You can use that to reduce the difficulty because you would be a very well versed in reading body language, even of a alien race. But you would have to be the primary roller for that to fire.
Okay, fair enough.
But if you want to roll, I'll certainly go ahead.
Another argument would be if Jill assists with it, with open and insightful, somebody would be able to get a reroll.
Because the complication
right now.
Just transferring people all around and making sure everyone gets to the same place, and no one's gonna jump the gun at seeing shields move.
Yeah.
So we'll convince them to let us do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't mind making the roll because I also have diffused the tension.
That would also kick in.
So it's a difficulty 1, comp 3. Is that
Yep.
what it is? All right. Take a threat for a third die. And Eh. 2, but the difficulty was 1.
Gaining momentum as you're able to organize getting all of these transfers ready and making sure that you and the Necrovians are all on the same page. Okay, so we're gonna lower our shields, someone's gonna beam over from one ship to another, and then you're gonna beam here, and no one's gonna shoot anyone. But you have to do it through this as holographic interface. It's a pictographical language of approximately 100 characters, and by stringing them together, or you can kind of get vague notions of complex ideas across. But that's the most communication we're able to get without them bleeding your ears out.
I mean, the fact that it's a holographic system just makes it that much easier for her to communicate. That's all. Anyway, yeah. So.
Anyways. And with that, Commander Desesh, you're able to beam over from the Gungnir, who's going to the meeting, and where's this meeting taking place?
Welcome aboard, Commander. Good to see you again.
I wish it were under better circumstances, but I'm glad to hear that progress is made on finding our missing people. Do you want me to kind of act in the role of primary negotiator, or am I here to...
Yeah, that's fine. If you're trained in that, I think we should definitely take advantage of your skills.
Right.
Any suggestions on how we can arrange this to be friendly?
Are we approaching this as some kind of trade or more of a hostage negotiation?
Well, we really don't have anything to offer them. Our thought mainly was if we could offer them an alternative to eating the hostages as a food source, that'd be kind of our way into this dialogue. Otherwise,
they seem
really
pretty warp capable. Are we prepared to provide them food?
Well, I thought we could make arrangements with the Inerthians to produce whatever food that they need, as opposed to using Inerthians.
Certainly a tough sell, but I imagine under the circumstances that we can probably make them to agree that that's better than the alternative.
At least as a first step.
All right, let's find out what their point is on this. I get the impression there's already been hostilities. There were shots fired.
The first.
Could you fill me in?
Yeah, the first Necrovian ship we encountered and tried to dialogue with opened fire on us. We returned fire and destroyed their weapon systems, and after that they decided to leave the immediate vicinity. We saw another ship, moved closer to it, and used our communication system with these pictographs to open communications with them. We had a better time talking to them, and we sent the two Necrovian prisoners we had over to their ship. So we kind of a good faith step there. And then we extended an invitation for them to come over and discuss the return of the hostages.
So we've acted in good faith. Our sabers have been sufficiently rattled that they're at least aware of the fact that we constitute some kind of threat. And we've got the ball rolling. It's like we've got started. I'll see what I can do to carry us forward. Thank you, Captain.
As this conversation's happening in the transporter room and presumably through the halls as you're walking through the ship, Fox, you will be on the bridge and you see that another Necrovian ship has moved into position somewhat behind the other one.
He will inform Rost of this predicament. This development, rather.
Sounds like a response to the Nightingale coming in behind us. All right, so let's everybody just take it easy and not make any sudden moves.
All right.
So we'll head to the bridge and see if we can communicate our invitation to them.
Desesh, you're kind of taking the lead on this. Where would you like this meeting to take place? You can have a conference room. You could definitely get a holodeck together if you need to.
He is muted.
Sorry, my daughter came in for a moment. Was I being
That's right. Yes,
Yeah.
you were.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. And you're kind of taking the lead on this. So where on the Gungnir would you like to kind of set up your meeting place? You can have a conference room.
Seems like a conference room is the most straightforward way to do this, and the belief that's so. We'll set up there.
Very well.
How many of them are hearing? Like, how many people do we have to? I thought I heard 2.
We returned 2 prisoners. We haven't settled in
Oh,
on.
that was where I heard 2. Okay, so we don't know how many of.
Yeah, you don't know how much of a party they're going to be sending over.
Okay, so I think we should have a fallback to like a holodeck or something if it turns out they have a larger group. But yeah, okay.
These are these beings, the Necrovians, are also larger than humans. Is that right?
No, they're about the same size.
Okay, so they're not that bigger. And I think we were also going to try and prepare something food-wise that was kind of a carrion type thing.
I mean,
You want me to try to replicate already decaying meats?
Yeah, I mean, either fresh or, well, let's make both and they can pick. And I think Fox also brings up some good points about the lighting and the gravity.
I think it's important that we actually put some attention into the food, because if we're going to be offering them the opportunity to supply them food, we might want to put our best foot forward as far as what the replicators have to offer.
Well, we know they eat people. We just don't know the condition that they're in when they're eaten.
We don't know that they eat just people, though, right?
Right.
Oh, and don't forget they prefer the perches instead of chairs.
Oh, that's interesting. We can make that work.
Is this happening? Is this discussion happening on the bridge, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so.
I could try to ask around the people I asked for to see if they might have a better idea.
Doing? I look to the captain.
What were you thinking, Beer?
Oh, I just might be able to ask some of the contacts I asked before to see if they might know anything about their food preferences.
Oh, that Ferengi?
Well, not the Ferengi specifically. I learned about the Ferengi from other people I know.
Yeah, sure. Ask around. More info we have, the better.
Alrighty. May I use my well-informed trait?
I don't see why not. You can, and definitely start asking around. What questions would you like to ask the universe?
Trying to ask around to see, like, not if everyone, like, not if anyone had eaten with Necrovians, anyone knew, like, just, like, Necrovian food preferences that weren't people.
You do learn that it's not necessarily people, but any animals they come across us that are of a similar size.
A large game, basically.
Large game.
All right, and the follow-up question: do they prefer it fresh or not? I suppose it's the best way to ask that.
I'm gonna have to say that no one has seen them eat much in the. No one has seen them eat much in the in the field. So, they're not sure. They just know that they kind of take all of the large game, including people.
Okay.
So take that what you will.
Alrighty. Captain, information's, kind of light, but, any sufficiently big creature should substitute well enough.
Okay, why don't we go with just fresh meat and see where that goes?
All right. I sort of, with the captain's leave, take over sort of organizing the protocol of this. I actually have cultural flexibility as a trait, so I'm particularly good at intuiting and dealing with new races when it comes to setting up this sort of thing. So I would like to just sort of like create an ideal atmosphere for the beginning of the negotiations. I also have a focus in logistics.
Absolutely. That would be a control command. Normally be a difficulty 2, but this will be brought down to difficulty 1 because of your trait. And
does logistics apply?
Yes, it would. And then
Okay.
computers command of the. No, Ross, you can't use your focus in catering.
Okay. I would like to use a momentum, and we have 1, right?
We have 2.
Okay. Yes. And the complication range is normal, right? So, all right. I'm going to give this a roll.
Complication range is 2, just because of the weirdness of their culture.
Oh,
but
okay. Well,
we're
I
good.
rolled, but we can just look and see what we got.
Yeah, you hit it. And then computers command from the Gungnir.
Ooh, yeah, I hit it.
Yeah, you're able to get these accommodations done. You're able to quickly replicate some perches that can kind of operate like chairs and kind of scoot them back and forth from the table, but they'll be able to kind of sit at them and be at relatively chest height, you think. You do dim the lights, and the gravity is brought down to 75%, 1.75 G. So you're a little springy in the step, but you're not quite at lunar leaping.
Given the number of successes, can we use one of the momentum that we just gained to make this an advantage, that we have a particularly well-appointed protocol situation to put them at ease so that we can invoke it in the negotiations?
Certainly you can spend 2 to make this a particularly well-suited environment for them to put them at ease.
So that would put us up to 2 momentum again, and we have that protocol trait that we can invoke later.
Yep. Trait of well adapted conference room, and save, and that is on screen. Awesome.
All right. So I guess we're ready to receive our delegates. Any last minute concerns or requests, Captain?
I do want to have a securities team on standby, but out of sight. So maybe in an adjacent room, but not anywhere where they'll be seen by the Necrovians.
Very well. Will you be, assisting me on this, Captain? Are you going to be present? I assume.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Excellent.
All right. So Ross and Dashesh are going to be in the room. Fox, did you want to set up the advantage of having your team kind of nearby?
Yes. Yep. They'll be in the adjacent room off wherever this is being held.
Yep. Anything special about this team, or just type 2 phasers and maybe armor?
Yeah, that sounds good enough.
We should probably make sure that everybody's wearing the sonic inhibitors as well.
Yeah.
For 1 momentum, you can and get that equipped.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
And Fox will personally escort the Necrovians if we're not viewing them directly to where we're going, and will remain in the room in case he's needed.
Any special gear that you want to have?
Just my armor.
armor doesn't increase the escalation, but it kind of looks a little weird. You have the free advantage of your security team on your ship, so you can just have that set up on the side.
Yeah.
And we are ready to beam them over. And go ahead and give me a presence security. Difficulty 3, complication 2, Fox, as you escort them through your ship.
Yeah, go ahead and take a threat.
As
And
3.
let's see. You're saying something?
Yeah, I kind of thought, oh, I missed the step of actually describing them beaming over. 3 individuals beam over. One of them has gray kind of molted feathers, and the other 2 appear to have. One of them has a disruptor pistol on the side. The other one and seems to have a civilian phaser or on his hip. And
those were disabled.
Yep.
Kidding.
They're trying very carefully not to silently screech at you, but they do kind of follow your lead. So,
Okay.
yep, you already spent a threat. You have focus?
Closest would be tactics.
Not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of my foci are more combat oriented. Onwards and downwards. I will hit you. And I'm rerolling that 0.
There you
There we
go. You managed to get them through the ship. They are. They're not necessarily flinching at the light, but they are like visibly uncomfortable, and their heads are kind of low, and they have their wings up, kind of shielding them. But they do kind of plod walking through the ship. One of them does do like an experimental flight, right? Just stretching his wings and getting like a foot of air before it comes back down. Yep, they're giant birds. They're quadrupeds. It's 2 legs and 2 wings, 2 wing arms.
So they're harpies.
Kind of. But eventually, you do bring them to the conference room. And seeing that the conference room is to their liking, they kind of perk up a little bit, and they kind of experimentally like move their perches back and forth and kind of tap on the table, just kind of checking out the space.
I take an opportunity to introduce myself. Welcome to the Gungnir. I am Commander Sesh Araj of the Nightingale. This is Captain Venom and Rost of the Gungnir. Thank you for coming. I'm hoping that we can have a pleasant discussion, given the tensions that have erupted recently. To whom am I addressing?
Presence command and difficulty 3, comp 3, assisted by computers, command or science. As you are typing this into a translation matrix, it's not a direct language yet. The translator, the universal translator, can't catch up with it yet.
Again, I do have cultural flexibility, so that would normally reduce the the difficulty. And would this be a circumstance in which I can invoke our preparations to again reduce the difficulty?
You reduce the difficulty or the complication. Either way.
The difficulty's 2 right now? And
Difficulty...
that includes my cultural flexibility?
Nope. Brought down diff 1 with cultural flexibility.
Okay, then we'll reduce the complication using our preparations by 1, or whatever, and and I'll give it a shot.
Difficulty 1, comp 2.
Mm-hmm. I think this is a good opportunity for us to get some momentum back, so I am going to spend the 1 momentum we have to keep the roll high. I have persuasion as a focus. I assume it applies.
You're not really persuading them of anything in quite yet.
Okay, how about Starfleet Protocol?
I'll take that. First contact protocol.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and I would point out I do have bargains, so I will get a reroll potentially.
Okay.
Assuming that that's what this is.
Yep.
And all right, I'll give it a roll. Is the captain assisting?
Sure, I can throw in an assist.
Well, let's see if you can. Ooh, not my best roll, but I'm going to re-roll one of those.
Raggy.
Uh-oh, Gungnir.
Total of 3 successes. That's 2 above our target.
So you generate...
But we have a complication. That's what people are having a problem with.
Yep, the ship complicated.
All right. Well, if we have 2 momentum coming in, we could buy that off, theoretically, if we don't want to have that happen right now.
Probably a good idea.
That puts us at 0 momentum. Yeah, let's do that.
All right. There was a little bit of a hiccup with the translation in Matrix, but Ross, you were able to catch it and go, no, not that word. I need this word. That would have ended badly, and it would have possibly insulted them or insinuate that you are food. But you caught it, and you caught it, and they're able to read the message on the pictographic screen, and they start typing their own message out.
All right. Now, I just succeeded in a social challenge, and I have cold read as an ability. So, can I get a sense of their level of optimism on these negotiations? Do I get the impression that they're just kind of here to stall and they don't really think there's anything here? Are they scared? Like, what is their general sort of demeanor coming into these negotiations?
Great level of fear. They're quite skittish. But you think that's just kind of a cultural thing, that they're skittish by nature, but they're also curious about where this will lead, and wondering if they're skittish, but they're curious is enough to kind of override that.
Okay, so that sounds optimistic. All right. Should I proceed then?
I'm typing up their response because you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because as there's a language barrier that you're kind of overriding. So we got that and that. They typed out the 3 symbols: question, quest, and hostile.
Okay.
Well, we should definitely assure them that we're not hostile. Um, we're seeking a peaceful solution to a problem, though.
Okay, so I do my best to create, like, we seek peace, but there is a problem. You have people we care about. Something to that effect.
Another presence command roll.
All right, this
Couple
one,
close.
like, we are into the thick of it now, so I am wondering if I can invoke a value on this.
You certainly can.
I have a value. The measure of a society is how how a civilization treats its most in need. I want to appeal to the understanding that we recognize that that they have acted because they are trying to take care of their people, and we are trying to do the same. That we cannot allow the needs of that our needs to lead us to rash action that could further undermine this situation. I'm basically trying to appeal to life and their lives in particular.
Yeah, you can certainly evoke that, and because you're approaching it from that angle, that would bring down the complication by 1 easily.
Okay. So yeah, like, you have people that we care about. We know that you have invested much, but we are prepared to assist you, provided our people are cared for. Something to that effect. And yeah, starting with the crit, I think this needs to go well, so I would like the opportunity to use 2 threat on this, I guess.
2 threat to by the 4th die, so to speak.
To get the 4th die equivalent, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to give this a shot. Same invoking of the protocol and my cultural flexibility.
Cultural flexibility, bring the diff down by 1.
Mm-hmm.
So comp 2, diff 2.
All right.
Can I use the medal, or do I have to be the primary?
You have to be the primary for that.
Okay.
All right. And same focuses apply, so I can give this a full shot here. Okay.
Yep.
Here we go. Nice. I'm going to re-roll that 0 with my bargain. Sweet.
You are full up on momentum. Appealing into their to the common draw of all social species is of protecting your own, protecting the others of our kind.
Okay, so with that success comes another opportunity to cold read. I would like to maybe get a little bit of a sense of why that particular angle was as effective as it was. Like, can I get a little bit of a read on the nature of their society as far as sanctity of life goes?
Kind of hard to read, as far as like universal sanctity of life, but they do kind of recognize the need to care for your own.
Okay, so it's a tribal thing. All right.
Yeah. It maybe not so tribal. Oh, it's not like they're infighting themselves, but it's definitely speciest. That okay, we're gonna care for other Necrovians because as we have a common cause, and we can see how you strange-looking birds would have that same appeal. It's a commonality that social species would take care of each other.
Yeah, and it's my I have to get us personhood, basically, over the in their eyes, and that seems to be going fairly well. So they understand what we are doing here. Are they? I want to get a sense of whether they are prepared to release the food. I won't say it that way, but the hostages.
They're typing up their reply now.
Mm-hmm.
They type out for quite a while, but yeah, the plus and minuses are there for reasons.
Mm-hmm. Food plus need, young plus teach. Young without food equals no. Yeah. Teach, no, young. Okay. All right. I look to the captain and briefly confer with him, just in Federation standard. I guess, like, we're speaking out loud. It's like, they need food, and like, I sort of looked to him. What do you make of young plus teach? Are they concerned about what it would look like to their young if they were to give back the hostages? Is that what we should
that
be
could
inferring
be one
from that?
interpretation. Young plus teach, young not food. No teach, no young. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what they're meaning by that.
All right. Well, I'll go with my best swing then. We know you must care for your own. If we provide food that is not alive, will you give us the hostages who are alive and safe?
Yeah, we're still gonna oh no, we're being boarded! Ah!
I don't have my hammer on me. Don't start boarding us.
Patient attack?
No, we just got a raid in.
Get my hammer.
Yep, we just got boarded. And welcome in. Thanks for coming in, Black Spidey. All right, now
something more interesting to show them.
Oh, this is interesting enough. Now that that's done, all right. Presence commands. We have that. I'm gonna spend and make this more interesting. And that, and then we're gonna spend to make this more interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna get rated at the Amok Time I'm Battle theme, and sung by Jim M. Carrey blares in my ear, so it was quite shocking.
That sounds like a you problem.
It is. I probably could tune that down, but yeah, with all my threat spend and stuff, that is difficulty 5, complication 4, and that is including in your traits. I canceled them out.
Okay. Can I also introduce the food into this situation as a means of further reducing our difficulty, because we did prepare like examples and that we could provide in this circumstance of the sorts of things that we are capable of providing.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I guess that leaves us with a 4 difficulty. I do not have a determination at this point, so I am just going to have to straight on, but I am going to throw all 6 momentum in if everybody's good with that, because this seems pivotal.
Yep.
Yes.
And we're going to make a run at this with all the dice.
Leroy Jenkins. Oops.
So that's a total of 5 dice normally, right? When you put in all of the... Yep. Okay.
6 momentum for 5 dice.
All right, and my complication range was 4, and here we go. First contact. Ooh. Yeah.
Nice.
Holy cow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Very nice.
Silver-tongued devil.
6. All right, 2 momentum.
Fox throws a hammer. I do this.
And he does it well.
Now I don't even. I don't think there's too high a like complication range for me to consider re-rolling any of these. So we'll just leave it at that.
Right.
What was the target? So
target was 4.
5, right?
Difficulty 5,
4.
bartender
So
did 4. So we
that
got
means
2
we
momentum.
got 2 momentum.
And you get 1 free cold read.
Yes. Do they like the food?
Also, what was your initial statement? We got distracted by the raid.
I offered to give them food if they were willing to give us the hostages safe and sound. That was basically the sum up of what I said. I was suggesting that we would be willing to help them in return for the people safe and sound.
You're willing to help them get a supplement for their air food supply total, not like, oh,
yeah,
well,
I offered them food that is not alive, is the way that I phrased it.
Yeah.
And I've provided examples.
And it's more than just like, okay, we're gonna have a pizza here and then we're all friends. This is like, I'm providing food for your entire nation, I'm assuming.
I'm willing to provide an equivalent amount of food that they have invested resources here. We're trading, right? Like, I'm not saying that we will now feed you forever. I'm like, we can deal with the teach them to fish problem later. Right now I'm offering them a fish. I'm saying, like, we will give you a good amount of food, more than you have, and in return we get our people.
The law of equivalent exchange for you anime fans.
What is it? The continuum of material exchange or whatever? The Ferengis call it? Yes.
I was using alchemy. Basically, you give us what we want, we will give you their weight in this X food.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm talking about. Although I'm willing to offer more because, want to sweeten the deal. They don't know we have replicators.
Not only that, but the Nightingale is full of biomatter replicators.
Exactly.
Oops. There was supposed to be more to that, but...
Oh, I think I see what you mean, though.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
like
just starting
live,
off lovely.
live food, right?
Yep. Food minus life equals bad.
Okay, so and with my cold read, I get the pretty clear disgust reaction that they are not going to be mollified by replicated food.
It's a bit more complicated than that.
Okay, now given that I am using the cold read, though, can I get a more sophisticated understanding of their problem then just food minus life equals bad? Is it the replication? Is this cultural? Surely they don't, is it psychic? Do they need their food to suffer? What?
No, it's not like that.
It's the suffering.
No, they're not doing that. There is a key component about their food that would be missing if it's completely dead. So, you're offering them an incomplete meal. There's key nutrients and stuff that are missing. That's kind of the disgust. It's not like, oh, this is nasty. It's like, oh, this won't feed us.
Okay, so the stuff we offered them won't feed us, and presumably it is protein matter of sort of an equivalent type to what we would expect that they would eat. So there's something missing here. I kind of look to the captain. Can we put someone on figuring out what it is that that this food is lacking that they need? Presumably something that does not work in replication.
They want live game. They don't want something that they don't kill.
They're predators. They want to kill.
That's not a nutrient thing, though, right? Because that then implies that it's a cultural issue that they're dealing with.
Yeah, this is not a cultural issue. This is something that they've... Yeah, you definitely get the feeling that this is not a cultural issue. This is definitely something that it's like, well, we've tried getting away from eating people before, but it didn't work.
It's a primal thing.
Okay, but that brings me back to the suffering problem, that they, for whatever reason, need their food alive when they eat it. Is that that's the distinction that I'm getting here? That they literally would prefer to eat things that were not alive, but can't?
Maybe we can ask what their food source was before they started going after the
Yeah, I'm just going to put that. That's going to be our next round of here is can you show us what you eat that is not us?
That's a good way.
Can I try that exchange at this point?
Yeah.
That seems like a relatively straightforward ask, so I think I probably don't need to throw the book at it.
Presence command div 2 comp 2 with all the advantages you have.
Div 2 com 2, including everything. I would like to put a momentum into it. I'd like Ross to assist me because we're not firing everything at it, but I am spending a momentum. All right, let's give it a try. Ooh.
Oh no!
Wait, I didn't switch the complication range, so we have to check those to see if they were actually
Only one of them is a natural 20. The other one's 18, and that does. Yeah, the other one's an 18 and doesn't count.
Okay, so we don't get that complication, and I can re-roll one of them with bargain.
Yep.
So I will do that now, and I will fix the complication range because I forgot to change that.
Yep.
All right, so this time around. Oh! It was meant to be.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No!
Well, we have to start messing up sooner or later.
And that is a hard fail with the complication.
Can I give him my determination?
You certainly can.
I would very much appreciate a full reroll. Or not a full reroll. I'm going to keep that one success, but...
on the value that other cultures are interesting and have much to offer.
That brings up a question. So, technically, we have 2 of those then. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Because the cap... Okay. Awesome. Neat.
All right. That means I get to reroll those 2 complications. Well, no, there was only one complication, but I can reroll the 2 dice.
You can reroll the 2 zeros. Just Ash,
Yes.
what value are you
Wait.
spending this into? Because that's be
Oh,
one of
wait a
your
minute.
values.
Oh, my values. Okay.
Yep.
Can I just use I know what I'm doing and do this with just sheer like I'm the best at this, and
Sure, gumption.
like I can sell I can sell sand to a Vulcan kind of thing.
Sure.
All right.
I accept that.
All right. Yeah, let's give this a shot then. 2 more dice. This better work. I've got 1 success and I need just 1 more. Here we go. Boom.
Come.
Oh, thank good. What do you eat that is not us?
So, you are trying to phrase this in a way that they'll accept, and trying to push it through that translation in Matrix, and as you're about ready to hit enter, or you're kind of getting the feeling that no, this isn't quite lining up. This is too soft of a answer, or I need something a little more concrete. So you're able to kind of step back and revisit your phrasing, and you're able to punch that in correctly.
Yes.
And they show pictures of large game, something like 50 kilograms and up.
It looks pretty clear that not all of these are sentient, though, right? Or sapient.
Yeah, absolutely. Not all of these are sapient.
Okay, can I use my cold read? When they show us these pictures, I want to get the sense of which ones they want, right? Like, which ones are the, like, they're showing me probably like just a range of these are the kinds of things that we would eat, not you. But I want to get the sense of, like, are there any of these that I can identify that they actually would prefer to us?
Commander, quick aside.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Perhaps we're focusing a little more on the food. What if it's their whole cultural and civilization that's the problem? This is an avian species living on a gigantic trash space station where they don't have access to their natural prey. Maybe they could use a better homeworld or something like that. Maybe we could offer that as a solution to their problem. Or at least help to
something like that.
And we were doing this for the Inerthians. Maybe we could do this for them if they have requirements we can determine.
Okay. I feel like we can use that to sweeten the deal and like imply perhaps that long term. But I really think that if we start suggesting that we have a lot more to offer them, the price might go up.
Okay.
But because they seem invested in a one for one exchange, and if I start suggesting that I've got like a big big vault full of gold for them, then they're going to want the gold, right? So that's why I would think that I would like to see how far we get with this and use that if we stonewall.
Okay.
And they also
but it's a good idea.
As they're showing you the pictures of these animals, they show them alive and then dead and decaying, and they show the decay process.
So it is carrion.
So
it is carrion.
Okay, they need it decayed. Okay. All right. Can we get our people on finding sources for these live creatures in this area? Because obviously we probably don't have them. There's nothing in here that's on our ships, right? So if we could get our science people on finding sources for some of this stuff, that would be awesome. Can we do that?
The Nightingale has cloning labs.
Yep.
Yeah. So can I get this to my people? I basically say to the captain, can I put the Nightingale on this?
Yes, of course. That's a great idea.
All right.
Let's see if we can find some systems that have what they want.
All right. I take whatever. I've got a hollow imager. I get a hollow imager, and I just and I get the pictures, and I contact Harkuri. A biolab would be the person to do this, right?
Yep.
Yep. So Disesh to Harkuri.
Harkuri here.
We're in the middle of the negotiations, and we have stalled out on the fact that they apparently require live game. I have a set of pictures that they have provided that are food sources that they will potentially eat, but we need to either be able to provide these in a live form or find a source for them that we can provide them. So can I put you on that?
Yes, send me the information and I'll get right on it.
It's away. Thank you. Update me when you can.
Disesh, go ahead and give me a present science difficulty 1, and Harkuri, you can assist with insight science as you're both trying to communicate all this information.
I am terrible at science, but I am excellent at presence. You know, the thing that does the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And my complication range is 1, presumably.
Yep.
And that's because you put it on the thing helpfully. Okay. All right. So I'm the assister here, right?
You're the primary. You're the primary.
Oh, I'm the primary. Okay.
Yeah, because you're the one presenting this information. Harkuri is receiving it, so they can assist with insight science and see if they can fill in the gaps.
I'm going to spend that 1 momentum in the hopes of getting more. Here we go. And focus. I have a focus in logistics. I think that would probably apply here, right?
Yeah, that'll work.
All right. Oh, brutal! This is not a bargain, too. So there's not much I can do with that. Yeah, so they look like this. I mean, they gave me pictures, but I'm instead drawing like little animals on napkins for some reason. Yeah, that did not work out.
Yeah, if we don't have a reroll on that, Harkuri, you can get started on this, but you're like just starting with large game.
We actually do have somebody, I think.
Can I use the computer in order to get? No, I can't if I don't roll any successes myself.
If you,
right?
Yeah, if you don't have any successes, then no one can assist.
What a terrible. Okay, all right. Well, that just sucks. Okay, live game. You know, do the thing.
Nightingale does have a vet on board.
Yeah. So if she wants to call Duncan.
All that great progress. Oh well. Okay. So I guess I go back to just sort of like discussing, like, we can potentially find sources of live game. We will require a little bit of time in order to try to process this information that you have generously provided. So if you will allow us some time, we will be able to offer you something commensurate to the people that you hold.
Can we have a Gungnir science officer make that roll too?
Gungnir science officer wasn't available to hear that exchange or present the information in the first place. And again, Disesh has to get at least 1 success for anyone to understand it. But the Necrovians type out this command.
We are taking time to understand your specific needs. Wish to readdress in an hour. I'm going to say an hour. I'm not going to promise that it's done in an hour, but can we have an hour?
Okay, so there's like a short recess as time for an hour.
Yeah, short recess.
Yeah, they grant that.
Because command is my job to come up with a timeline for something that I don't understand. So and that's where I leave it. And I sort of look to the captain and say, I can sort of stay here and hold down the fort. Maybe you could coordinate the efforts from outside.
Would it be worthwhile for Hakuri to go to you to get that information?
I'm not sure that it's entirely clear that I think that I transmitted the information badly. So I mean, basically, I think that we're switching to everyone who's outside of this room right now, because it's been me for a while. So
Yep.
If you want to come look for me, I don't know if that's the angle, but
it's not like you received bad information. You just received like bare bones basic information, like large game. Okay, I guess I can start looking for that. Yeah.
Okay.
So you have a starting point, but it's not as narrow of a starting point as it could have been.
Okay.
I mean, you could clone an elk and give it to them, and they may be okay with it.
They may be great with it, yeah.
If only we actually got the big guppy.
Right.
Ooh.
That big. Oh wait, no, we have scans of it though.
You know, if they like fish,
then-
we're sitting pretty.
We have the scans of the Azurian beast.
How to articulate this?
Explain the
Well,
Azurian
that-
beast to the GM who wasn't there for that.
Okay. Our first encounter with the Azurians was somebody had hunted a baby shark, but this baby shark is about 12 meters long, and we're talking like an infant. It was taken off planet, but it was already killed because it broke out of its cage and killed everybody else on the ship that took it.
Because it ate through the hull plating.
But it was a baby at 12 to 15 meters long, full grown. They would rival the size of the Gungnir.
Yeah,
Well,
they're like megalodon.
I can pull that up and transmit that to Desesh so he can basically relay it and see if that would be the route that we want to go.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. This a good point to keep going with?
You guys are sending that to me?
Yeah, it's the scans of and picture of the giant, the baby shark from the Hirogen ship.
I'm trying
that
so
would
hard
be
not to sing that song.
amount and something very unique that might spark it.
And for the GM, this predator hunts you utilizing neural sensitivity as one of its senses.
Okay.
Mm,
Here's
and I'm assuming in shark it would be a aquatic born. It would be fully aquatic all the time.
Correct.
Okay.
Here's my concern with offering them the Death Tyrant or whatever. What we thinking that out in the long term, we give these guys a taste for food that can only be found on Azurian. In the long term, we are setting them up to, instead of going after the Inerthians, going after the planet that we just made first contact with. So I am reluctant. I would much rather give them food that fulfills their requirements but cannot be found in this sector, so that we maintain some sort of control over the situation. So I am much more optimistic about the elk idea. Like, if we just give them food that is alive, that qualifies for their things, but is a finite amount, then we can deal with it once we have the hostages on our ship. That would be my concern.
Well, I guess you can show imagery of large game that we can duplicate and see if it'd be to their liking prior to duplicating it.
Could you, how long would it take to actually make one that is alive using the cloning facilities?
That would
I'm-
have to live up to the GM as far as what 24th century rapid cloning technology could be to start
rapid cloning in technology. Like you can get a specimen in 6 hours if you're starting to mass produce it. It would be like a 12-hour delay until you start getting them coming off the assembly line, so to speak. But at least 6 hours in a tank to get one out.
So we could have a sizable stock within relatively a week.
If it's
Relatively.
to their
Well-
liking and they accept it.
Here's what I'm suggesting. I get a picture of one of these elk, and I ask them, if you give us an hour, or give us, like, say, 8 hours, we'll provide 2 of these and see if they are to your liking. And we'll see if that step in the negotiation mollifies them, because if that's the case, we start offering them 2 elk for every hostage, and that keeps the whole situation going and keeps them fed while we evacuate the hostages in a nice, orderly manner, and the hostages are kept alive.
They are willing to grant you the 8 hours or to do your experiment.
Okay. I hand over the thing to the people that are going to have to make my demands a reality. We need elks. Go Team Science.
I think I missed it. We went from talking about cloning Jaws' more aggressive cousin to cloning elks.
Yep.
Yeah, we want to use elks.
Yeah,
Okay.
we
I
have
guess-
the ability to clone Jaws' more dangerous cousin, but we're going for elk instead because it's.
I would have
safer
gone
in
with
the long run.
hippo personally, but
Yeah, a hippo would be. I mean, yeah.
Elephant.
Oh, cloning kind of sounds like an extended task. So let's draw this up.
Jason, you may have to explain this to Hakuri because we don't use these.
It's best just to go. Let's just take it step by step. Like, what do we roll? Then what's next? Then what's next?
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. We just do it one time.
Nightingale.
Yep. Bigger letters is better. You do have facilities for it, so it's not gonna be that hard. And I'm assuming you have a genetic blueprint of an elk.
Yes.
you would have a library.
Yeah, you would have a
Yeah.
genetic library easily. I can't
we
foresee any
also-
resistance.
We have a vet on board, so that can do with what it is.
Yeah, the knowledge pool is there to make this happen. We just don't have a sheet on this
Yeah.
game.
Yep, you have the knowledge pool and you have the so control med, and then we have a work track of
Which is good. We can do this medically because we don't have the weapons to do a firefight. We may look like a warship, but we are not.
It's fine. I can take both ships.
You probably
doing
could.
That's
well.
our job. The streaming torpedo.
In canon, can replicators actually recreate cloned live items? Because I didn't think that they could.
They have cloning facilities, not replicators.
Just let the lawyers take care of
Okay.
it. It's all good.
All right.
Yeah, our ship is specifically designed for anything medical.
Yep.
I
Which
see.
is why this role is even impossible. As many people as you want can and definitely jump in on this, but I can throw threat at any time. We're gonna do difficulty. All right, so we're starting off with difficulty 3, control med.
Is this an active game?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Would xenobiology apply?
Yes, it would.
I think it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, the captain can assist with genetics.
Oh.
Yep, everyone can just kind of dogpile in on this.
Let's see.
No, I'm not.
Okay. We don't need to reduce complication. Okay. So, how many extra dice do you want to throw at this thing?
2.
Okay. Do you want to give all of it in threat? We have to.
Yeah.
Take 3 threat. And here is Kiana's roll. We can
re-roll that 0.
Yep, we can re-roll that one.
All right.
So there's 4.
All right. Who's coming in to assist?
The captain did.
Okay.
And what for Nightingale? Computer's medicine.
Computer's medicine, and for Nightingale.
Our ship comes through.
For difficulty 3, that's 4, 5, 6. That's 7 successes of difficulty 3.
Mhm.
I think we're
Good. Oh,
You are good. All right. So you have a medicine of 5. Go ahead and roll me 7 challenge dice.
Or threshold or whatever it's called. Like how many what's the work track? Sorry, that's what I need.
Work track
all
is
in that big box.
Yep,
above
it's
us.
all in the big box on the map.
Oh, it's in the big box on
Yeah.
on the map. Okay, that's where it is. Great.
2, 4,
Is
6.
there any way to re-roll those zeros?
For
Momentum.
one momentum, you can reroll all the zeros of challenge dice, at least once.
We will do that.
And then
What?
another momentum for piercing.
Yeah.
That'll work. All right, 6, 7, 8, and there is no resistance, so that is 8 work done. You got 1 breakthrough. All right, you've gotten started loading up the S genetic. You load up the genetic profile, and it is working through the cloning facility. Meanwhile, wonder where he's at. Okay, that's what's happening with him. Meanwhile, Dr. Kai and Atram. The ship's kind of been at yellow alert. It's been kind of tense, and you're just kind of waiting on bated breath to kind of feel out what happens. What would you be doing?
What information do we have as to the negotiations from Commander Deceased? Do we have a full picture of that, or do we not?
I don't see any reason why you guys wouldn't just be watching me on a camera somewhere, right? Like,
Yeah, unless like Captain
like,
Ross wanted this on the down low, all senior staff would have access to that.
yeah, you could just get me on a holodeck somewhere with like a complete
Hey.
recreation of what I'm up to.
In that case, it would be person to person rather than just universal. So
My
unless you guys don't see a reason why you would be watching in, then you would be able to know what's going on.
At any rate, you'd be apprised of the situation either through a live feed or a summary.
Do I have a correct understanding that we're creating live elk with the hopes of killing them and then letting it decay? Is that what we're looking at?
Nope, we're getting elk and then just giving them to them and then letting them do with them what they want.
Yeah,
Okay.
presumably they'll put them in like a pen somewhere until they want to eat them.
All right. So then I want to talk to Captain Ross at some point. In private.
Captain Ross, are you available to speak?
Sure.
Dr. Pat, Captain Ross, sir, could I speak with you in private? I have some concerns.
What are your concerns, Doctor?
Well, we can look back to just Earth history and Admiral Spock. You know, everyone knows the story with Kirk and Spock and the whales. We simply shouldn't use the whales for our own purposes. And we certainly understand the story from Lieutenant Commander Dead that, we can't simply use things just to benefit humans. And in this situation, we're using elk simply to benefit our cause to prevent this species from attacking us. I think a much better course of action, and I just want to commend Commander Siege on his excellent negotiating diplomatic skills from what I've seen so far. I just have concerns about using them in this way. I think a better approach would be to locate maybe some nutrients that are missing. They need decayed meat. Let's find out what nutrients are missing from when they, go from living to dead, and see if we can't find what that nutrient is, so we can provide it in some type of replicated material. We could use subdermal bioprobes for that, or we could use a biobed if they would be willing to kind of see what happens before and after they eat decayed meat. In order to provide them nutritional supplements, it doesn't require us to have them eventually kill these animals. And again, these animals are not native to their planet, so I don't know if we're necessarily doing what's ethical here.
Well, Doctor, I understand your concerns. I think there's also a cultural significance of them teaching their young how to, I guess, attack and bring down their own prey. That seems to be a factor in it, not just the nutritional value. So I don't think we can do something like that covers that base without having a live critter, as it were. And we would be, cloning these, breeding these, so we wouldn't, necessarily be depopulating, the wild of them.
Right, but cloning a human, that human would have certain rights. I understand that it's just an animal. We're allowing it to be cloned, but I would assume they'd have some level of protection. But I understand what you're saying too, Captain. I'll do whatever you say. I'm happy to do that. I'll just put a note in my log that I don't necessarily agree with this course of action.
Well, absolutely. I totally understand where you're coming from. We offered them a solution of just, strictly replicated protein, but they didn't find that acceptable. So in order to get the, get the hostages free, we need to come up with something that's acceptable to them, and this appears to be what they want.
Very well, Captain. I just wanted to voice my concerns.
If we can figure out another way, we'll try. But
Dr. Kai, you might be onto something, but a little bit out there.
Can I spend momentum to get clarification or something to clarify that thought?
Insight Medicine in difficulty 3, complication 2. As you just kind of have a good think about this.
Insight Medicine, difficulty 2.
Difficulty 3, complication 2.
Can I buy 2 additional dice, both with momentum and threat?
1 threat, 2 momentum.
That's fine. And can I use a focus here?
And what?
As well, really wouldn't be xenobiology. Excuse me. So I'm sure I have one. Yeah, I don't really have one here.
Xenobiology might work. Yeah, I'll accept
Awesome.
xenobiology.
Xenobiology. You said the complication again was what?
Complication 2.
Complication 2, and I bought 2 dice, correct?
Yep.
Just the one?
So,
Okay.
yep. So you have 2 dice. So, you should be rolling 4 dice altogether.
All right, here we go.
Gain a momentum. So, there appears that there was a great deal of concern and need for the meat to decay. And you know that in general, carrion-trophics actually kind of use the natural decaying process as a outside stomach, in much the same way that humanoids cook food. Carrion-trophic. Yeah, we cook food in order to make it easier to digest, and we can break down harsh proteins and stuff. Carrion-trophs kind of do the same thing, just with decay. So their own internal stomachs and digestive system can't actually handle a whole lot of raw protein, and it just takes way too long for them to digest it. So the decay process is actually part of their digestion. That's how it works on Earth vultures and any other carrion-trophs in the galaxy. They need a decay process in order to break down the food so they can actually eat it properly.
Right. Is there a way we can compare?
Oh, maybe that's what they meant by their young. Your young can't process fresh meat.
Perhaps, Captain.
Why don't we replicate some carrion type food and offer it to them? I'll suggest that to Commander Araj.
Yes, sir.
Commander Desesh.
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 Desesh is the surname.
Yeah.
Because
I
unlike
think
you pretend to be, he actually is Bajoran.
We we have 8 hours, and I would love to use that time in order to further explore these ideas. So if you can provide additional refreshments that we can determine what, based on their reactions to them, what is appealing. Like, I would love a 15-course meal that goes over the course of this 8 hours, if your people are capable of providing it.
Do some trial and error on their stuff.
Exactly. What they eat, what they don't eat. We got plenty of time to learn while we're making elk.
Okay, let's try and see.
Mm-hmm. And I am continuing sort of the light intelligence gathering of this meeting, because if I have them sitting here, I'm just going to try and learn as much as possible about them in terms of first contact.
Yep, that makes sense. Dr. Kai, you can certainly get started on that. Okay, so with this information, what do you want to do next?
Well, if they decay to cook, and decay for them is like cooking for us. So I think we simply need to figure out what nutrients are most important, especially maybe to a younger, kind of bird type creature. Find out what nutrients are needed, and find a way to replicate those in just regular meat. I think that's what we need to look for. What's the key nutrition that's provided by the decay for, like fruits, they decay, but they still have antioxidants, but no one wants to eat them. So like, what's the nutrient that we're missing that we can give them that would be satisfying and satiate their needs? That's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm not saying it's going to be successful. I'd just like to try it.
Well, is it a matter of it's missing nutrients, or is it a matter of they can't process meat like that, so they need it to be decayed before they can eat it? Sort of like giving a baby formula as opposed to like solid food.
Or break down the proteins.
That was actually what you found out. They can't process the raw protein, which is what's happening when it's decaying.
That being said, just to play devil's advocate against my own thing, you can always take a replicated steak and add chemicals to it that rapidly decompose it. To the point where they may eat it. So, there's always that. So
is that a thing?
That's my idea. Yeah, to try. Okay.
Yeah, it's, if you go to crime labs, there are chemicals that rapidly decompose. Acids and stuff like that would rapidly decompose something or burn it.
Yeah, I guess it's on a molecular level. It's just the bacteria emitting an acid that breaks down the protein. So yeah, and if we can do something equivalent in the 21st century, we can easily do that in the 24th. So
just have it come out of the replicator like that.
Yeah, it's like extra folic acid or something that would cause it to rapidly decompose.
Yeah, I'm
This is
willing to
something that-
grant and that you can get like a tub of decaying agent.
I have a thought.
I can begin working on that with Captain Ross and Morgana's permission.
Desesh, what was your thought?
I was like, I don't know if how much of this is making its way back to me, but it occurs to me that they have to have been able to do this before technology. So, like, don't birds normally like chew up food and then feed it to their young, right? Like, maybe in order to find out what the chemicals are, we just have to pass a medical tricorder over one of these guys. Because, like, they presumably produce the enzymes necessary in order to make their food digestible by their young.
And the threat in the universe goes up by 2 as a new player joins the table.
I mean, that might be part of it, but
I will say
issue.
I will say in my research, not all birds are spit up food. Some birds actually do catch live young and bring it to the nest. It varies from species to species, so you're not sure what specific behavior
I'm
they'll
not
take up.
suggesting that this is what happens. I'm suggesting we rule that out.
Yeah, you can
a medical tricorder.
Yeah, you can
over
certainly
them.
You can certainly see about waving a medical tricorder over them and maybe getting an idea.
We might even, they're on our ship. We might even be able to do that without ever entering the room.
Might still be polite just to ask them if they're okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't want to get caught doing
Let's do
something on
that.
the sly that could be taken as threatening.
I'll absolutely do that. Sure.
But yeah,
We could also use the biobeds and monitor them eating food to kind of gauge the process if they were open to doing that.
Possible. Presence, command, or medicine. Kind of got on their good side, but we're still dealing with that language edge barrier. So difficulty 2, complication 2.
Yeah, there's the
Is
thing.
this
We got to
me?
keep it simple.
I have to convince them of this?
Yeah, because it's kind of
Okay.
rude to ask for a medical scan. It's invasive.
Fair enough. But you said I could use command?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. How's the... Okay, there is one thing, and I'm hoping that I can get back some here. So I'm going to spend that 1 momentum. The complication range is 2. And this is persuasion, straight up, right? So
Straight
I
up
can use the
persuasion. You can use the focus and bargaining.
Okay. Okay. I can use bargain, so I'm gonna re-roll that 0. Total of 3. We get the momentum back.
Get the momentum and back. They are willing to allow you a cursory a tricorder scan. They're not gonna. They don't seem willing to like go into a full vivitopsy.
Yeah,
Or-
certainly.
Yeah, like a casual wave of a medical tricorder, they seem okay with.
Okay. And because of the cold reading, I'd like to know why. What would be their what is the concern here? Is it cultural? Is it that they think it's a threat?
It's just that general icky feeling of, oh, I don't want to like everyone to know what's going on inside my liver. You know, that it's just the invasion, the invasion
It's
of
just
privacy.
a general sense of privacy. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, we got what we needed. So, did we rule it out then? It's more of a
Yeah, it's more of
brain
a-
dead 2 year. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's more or of that. All right, and with the let's go ahead and bounce back to the mass cloning thing. Let's do another roll on this. Control medicine difficulty 2 this time, as we move to the next stage of the cloning vats.
Okie dokie.
Sorry, we're going on the extended roll again.
Yep. Control medicine.
And it's difficulty 2 at this point.
How many dice?
Buy some more dice. The 4. Yeah. Roll 4. So take 2 threat.
Take 3 threat for the 4 dice.
Okay.
There's Kiana. We will re-roll that 0.
Mm-hmm.
With bold medicine, I'm guessing.
Correct.
Cool.
And here is the ship.
All right.
6.
Beautiful.
All right. Lots of momentum off that. Go ahead and roll me 7 challenge dice.
Love my team.
Nice.
Sometimes it pays to have a medical ship with a doctor as the captain. And an excellent crew.
And we will try for those 2 zeros for momentum.
Yep.
And piercing.
And 1 more for piercing.
Yes.
So you can actually get all of it on the track. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9er. Whoa. Alright. Plus 9. And that is another breakthrough. Slowly cooking our way through this.
Yo.
2, 3, 4, 5. However, you kind of ran into a little bit of a snag. I'm spending 5 threat to remove 5. I've worked from your work track. It's just going to take a little bit longer than you thought. There was some hang up in the maturation process. Atrum and Vera. Not much for you to do right now, but how are you handling all this?
Well, I mean, our ship did get shot and did the sparky shaky thing, so I'm probably just doing system checks and just keeping an eye on stuff for any unusual activity because, hey, there's 2 black holes outside.
It's fine. Black holes are fine. I did get some breaches on you, but they're just... yeah, I just got 1 breach on you, so it's already been override. You're on the secondary sensor systems, but you could give the ship a once over if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Control engineering difficulty 3.
Okay, I'm going to use the trait I know my ship. Whenever I attempt to task and determine the source of a technical problem, I can... Wait. Would that apply? Because it says to determine the source of a technical problem, but I'm looking to see if there's a technical problem.
No, I'll allow it. You're
Cool.
getting to know your ship and finding out what's wrong with it, if anything.
Yay, I get a free D20.
And I'm spending threat for raisins.
Rude.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, so that is complication range 1, 3 dice, because I get my free 3, my free D20.
Yep.
And I'm going to push the button.
Excellent. You gain a momentum, and everything seems to be working fine, except for, you did find a little bit of something, but this is like really nitpicky. But on the port 4 side of the ship, there are some isolinotrips that have a neutrino buildup.
Okay. Can I determine the source of that?
You can't, but maybe you can't think of anything like immediately on the ship, but maybe Sorrel. Oh, we'll have some insight.
Lieutenant Commander Atrum to Commander Sorrel.
Sorrel here.
I'm detecting a neutrino buildup in the front port side isolinear chips.
That's strange. Computer run a level 1 diagnostic.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, you've already done a level 3 diagnostic. And so what you said the computer would yeah, the computer kicks back that it's working properly.
Can we get it's on the hull? Or is it in the
this was it was within the ship, but this is like the outside port 4 section of deck 4. There was like an entire sector that their isolinear chips is built up a neutrino charge, which doesn't make sense because neutrinos don't have a charge, but I'm going with it.
I'm gonna go down and investigate.
Certainly.
I will go with him.
Is this anything apparent enough that would also register on the Nightingale sensors?
If someone wants to go looking for it, Atrum, would you notify the Nightingale that maybe this is an issue?
Well,
yes, in fact, I would. Just
okay.
tell them, hey, maybe look out for this.
Understood. We'll keep an eye out.
The operations officer on the Nightingale, I forgot who that was, but they can do a control engineering. Yeah, they can do a control engineering difficulty 3 as well.
Yeah, our ops officer literally is like an ops officer. They do science, engineering, and security. Run all 3 departments.
Can I argue reason? Oh wait, no, this is the task roll, correct?
It's control engineering, aim to like go over the ship and make sure everything's working properly.
Okay. Would warp field dynamics or astrophysics apply? I don't think so, but hey, it's worth a shot.
Surprisingly, astrophysics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that would apply.
Yeah.
Okay. And considering her past command was in Akira, the Andrew Jackson, could I also apply I know my ship?
You can apply I know my ship because you're doing this on Nightingale, so
okay.
And you would presumably know the ship that you're currently assigned to, so yes, that would also fire.
Okay, 2.
Herm. You could succeed at cost, or we could just let it fail. Oh, and just it's inconclusive if you find anything.
No, because of time, I'll just let it go.
Okay. You don't find anything in particular, but Sorrel and Atrum, reason, science, difficulty 4, and comp 2, just because of the whole situation that's going on here.
Commander, you want to be the primary on that role? My science isn't great.
It is what I do, so yes.
Okay, I will assist then.
let's see, diff 4, comp 2, reason.
I guess I should.
I'm going to give you 3 threat.
Okay.
What's the nature of the roll that we're doing?
You're trying to figure out the source for the neutrinos. There is a neutrino buildup on deck 4 or section in A, the outer forward or section of deck 4, port side.
Am I using my tricorder to do this?
Yep, tricorder.
Would sensor operations work as a focus?
Yeah.
Here we go. We science
4, 5, 6, 7. You science the heck out of this. Unlike Scream, the neutrinos are coming from outside of the house. And if you kind of think of the orientation of your ship, forward, port side, oops. Forward, port side, draw a line, go to others. And hey, what's over here?
Is the black hole?
Possibly. Seems to be on the vector.
Is it focused or diffuse?
It's diffused. I'll answer that for the science question. You have 1 float.
A hypothesis: are these neutrinos perhaps being distributed into the solar system via the interaction between the star and the black hole?
For 1 momentum, I can answer that.
I'll spend it.
It's possible that as the matter is infalling, it's rubbing up against each other as it's falling into the black hole, and that generally it creates a lot of heat, and it actually can get hot enough to start fusion just outside of the black hole.
Okay.
So you're kind of getting normally this situation occurs with if white dwarfs, not black holes, but this could be a setup for a nova where inspiring plasma gets heated up enough that it starts a fusion chain reaction on the surface of the black hole, and well, it's a new star, nova.
This complicates things.
Do we have any kind of assessment of the current probability or risk factor for a imminent nova?
Right now at the levels you're seeing, it's about 2 out of 5.
Just a 2 out of 5. Oh, well, that's good.
Is that a 2 out of 5 overall, or a 2 out of 5 per black hole?
That's a good question.
1 momentum.
Yep.
Spend it.
Like a thing to know.
If it's happening on this black hole, it might happen on the other one. The other one has a different setup, so it might have a different clock. That would be something you would have to look at more carefully.
Commander Sorrell to Captain Rost.
Go ahead.
We have a rather significant problem here, Captain.
What is it?
The interaction between the black hole and the star nearest to us is creating a diffuse neutrino field Our current hypothesis is that this is the consequence of nuclear fusion, again, due to the interaction. Long story short, Captain, there is a moderate to high probability that the star or stars made nova at any time.
And that would pose a danger to us and the Necrovians.
I would think so.
Yeah, a nova is, well, it's not a supernova, so it's not like everything's getting glassed, but it would be a significant shockwave, a ballooning out. As far as the specific mechanical damage, but you would definitely want to have shields up and running away from this thing if it does go nova. Preferably at FTL velocities.
Yeah.
Commander Dash, I think this is something we should relay to the Necrovians. Giving them warning of this, if there's something they don't know about, would definitely help us out here.
How imminent is this?
Would you ask again?
How imminent is this?
My science officer tells me it's a very high probability of happening soonish.
Okay. My initial instinct is to not include it because as long as they have hostages, this is going to look like a scam. But if it's going to happen now, then we have to tell them because it's relevant to the negotiation.
I will say, Acerel, you are looking at a timetable anywhere between days to months. You're not sure. It's relatively soon in astrological terms. But that's astrological terms, so it could be 5 years before this thing goes off.
Or tomorrow.
Or tomorrow. Or, when the GM jumps threat.
I relay that estimate to Captain Rost.
Do you have enough threat for a Nova?
How much threat does a Nova take?
Let me do things and we'll definitely have enough.
Scale is a sun.
Let's not. How about that? How about that? Let's.
Jamie want big
I want to do
boom.
things.
Yeah, and I don't want to deal with a black hole, so
This is why I don't like him having threat.
I
When
believe
my
there's
people
an
leave, the
ancient.
threat goes down.
I believe there's
Earlier
an
he was
ancient Earth
asking.
song.
Earlier, he was asking the threat level of isokinetic weaponry or isolytic weaponry. So I mean,
Don't worry about it. Don't worry
Don't worry
about
about
it.
Definitely worry
Also,
about it.
I mean, you guys kind of signed up for this when you decided to join a crossover game with a high threat.
Okay, I have a
threat
question.
game, so.
42.
Can that nest move? Can they leave?
Yes, the nest does have warp capabilities. Somehow,
so we just need
you're
a
not
better
sure
place to
how.
talk.
So there's between the bird nest and all the ships, there's no one in the solar system that isn't capable of FTL.
Correct.
Okay.
So we just need to relocate. We can maintain the status quo as long as we move to somewhere that is not this system.
He just dropped a threat.
Don't worry about it.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
I think it would also be a show of good faith if we were to, let them know of this imminent threat.
Yeah. Can you get me a nice graphic that I can use to explain this? Because this is going to be really awkward if I have to use the typewriter.
Sorrel.
Hey, Commander Sorrel, can you do a holographic PowerPoint?
Oh.
Well, if you can give me access to, I got holography. I can, I can put on a show. I just need access to the equipment.
On a scale of 1 to 5, how much detail do you want to go into this, Sorrel?
We do not have a lot of time. I would like a PowerPoint, basically.
Are we talking grade school level or graduate level?
Well, they're going to have to follow this, and we have very limited range of language. So let's say maybe in 6th grade terms.
Okay.
We're gonna go with a 2, and we're not gonna let Sorrel go overboard.
And So I'm gonna bump that up. Present science is difficulty 4, complication 3.
Okay. To make a PowerPoint?
Yep, to make a PowerPoint in a language, age, and manner that they can understand and quickly, using about 6th grade science.
Okay. Let's do that.
Ooh, difficulty 4, keynote.
Difficulty 4 keynote. Because there's also a language barrier you're overcoming.
No, I get it. I totally agree that this is good. I'm just like, whew, we better get this right.
Can I use my can I use my psionic bond with Ross to use his focus and PowerPoints?
I hate you so much more now. Now you have lost both my privileges. I hope you're happy.
You're getting
I'm
a
gonna
medal
have
for
to
that.
no.
All right.
This role combines the presentation of this information with the science behind it, right? I'm just
Correct.
wondering if I would be able to use holography in order to assist on this one. Presence,
Yes.
like, command or whatever.
I'll allow presence command and as an assist.
Okay.
Astrophysics
All
is my focus. Will that work?
Yep.
Okay. All right. I am giving you. I'm going to spend a momentum and then give you 2 threat for 4. And here we go.
So far, so good.
Reroll. There we go.
Sweet.
Sweet. 4, 5, 6. So we gain 2 momentum. They seem to understand and the message, but they also get more defensive.
Okay. All I'm basically asking is, can we move over here? And like in the 8 hours that we are waiting here, can we relocate to such and such a place that is not going to explode?
Nope. They deny that.
Okay. They don't have a counter proposal or anything?
They do not
just want to stay here?
They do not want to move.
We asked them why.
Yeah, can I cold read and find out why? Because I just beat them in a... Or no, I wasn't the primary, though, so I don't get cold read here.
For momentum, I can answer that. Kind of the same conversation. We'll move this along.
Yep. Okay, yeah. We'll use a momentum. I cold read.
They think that this is a trick, a trap. You're cheating them, or you are changing the conditions of the battlefield to your favor. Oh, we're up in the hills and stuff where it's inconvenient for us to fight. How about we move over here to the plains? Because there's risk of a rock slide. But
so we succeeded in the challenge, but to communicate the idea, but not to convince them to do anything about it.
Yeah, and they don't want to be convinced because they view this as you're trying to pull us out of where we're comfortable, where our tactical advantage is, and trying to move us to a new tactical advantage.
Okay. Is that a separate challenge to try and convince them of our sincerity, or do we just have to deal with the fact that they're that they think it's a trap and proceed along different grounds?
You would have to bring more evidence into the situation. You have to bring something else to the table to convince them. Otherwise, you'll just be talking to your blue to the face.
Okay.
The
I'm gonna
build it?
I'm gonna pass that back to my science team.
Again, we have to be a bit more simple with how we convey things, since we don't have the full range of communication at the moment. So trying to explain them complex thoughts wouldn't help us.
Yeah. Okay.
Or maybe we just skip it for now and focus on the hostages, and the Necrovians are on their own as far as anything else.
Well, they have the information now, so I think that I agree with the captain that we proceed on the grounds that we have and be prepared to run if we need to. We have a Hail Mary possibility if this needs to go badly, but at the moment we need the hostages on our ship, and then we can save their lives.
And with that,
at least that would be my thinking.
And with that, we'll cut back to the cloning lab. We're in the last stage, so control medicine difficulty 1. One more roll. You're just about done with this.
I'm gonna go all in.
So,
Termination, maybe?
Yeah. This is my last go.
Right? We're gonna go for all the dice. So,
1 threat, 5.
3 momentum, 3 threat.
Okay, that works.
Do you want to do the turn? Do you want to burn determination?
Yeah, might as well.
You burn determination, and you will use 1 less threat.
That works.
To what value are you spending?
What the? Not afraid to get hands dirty. Not afraid to get hands dirty.
Yeah, that would definitely work.
Birthing elks.
Birthing elks. Gonna get dirty here.
You're getting a die with 2 successes on it, so this is the other 4.
All right. Here goes. All right.
And it's difficulty 1 anyway, so this is just for all the momentum.
Yep.
And that was the ship.
So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okie day. 8 momentum generated. Yeah, 4 float. As you have your first generation of cloned elk.
Woot.
Plot twist, it's cloned oak.
Can we get an extra elk for every momentum we went over there?
Yeah, 1 for 1. I can allow that.
Well, okay.
Unless you have other ideas.
No, I was gonna make a joke and say we can give them the lysine deficiency that they gave the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. But no.
Possibly.
Elk is nicer.
Now, question is, how do you want to receive it?
Yeah, now we have to get them. We'll let them know that we have the first set ready to go.
Yeah. I'll pass that information along, and I guess we just load some elk into a shuttlecraft and move them over.
You can also use a transporter. You could just like herd them onto a transport buffer. You might get like 3 at a time on a
I hate lowering
transport bed.
shields, but everyone else is okay with it.
Sure.
You have to lower shields for a shuttlecraft anyways.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yes. It has to get out somehow.
I did not know that.
It's why the Enterprise kept its forward shields up while it dropped the back shields to let in Sulu.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's the thing we could do, but okay.
would you like to beam things over?
I get their permission if we need to do that again.
Yeah, we can skip it. You got the permission. You can beam over.
Okay. So before we
go ahead.
I was just going to say, before we present the elk, I would want to reiterate the terms. We are going to provide you a potential food source. Our understanding is if you were okay with this, that we would relocate to another area and provide you many more, possibly exchanging like an equal weight for hostages. Something along those lines. Try and get that kind of an understanding and then show them the elk.
Sorry, there was something going on in the background, but yes, you can and share the elk with them. They seem they seem somewhat interested. Like, okay, this is something equivalent to what we used to eat on our old home world.
Oh, that's an interesting line of inquiry that I will investigate in a moment. But they seem reasonably okay with that?
They're not sure if this would, and they kind of use the symbol for or cook death, if correctly, but they're willing to try. And they're also so curious about where you would source this long term.
Well, that wasn't the deal, right? This is not a long-term arrangement. We would provide an equal amount to the people that they have, right? That we can talk about anything long-term later.
Oh, okay. They're still questioning
Yeah, they don't know our source, and I'm not delivering that information.
They're questioning, can you actually deliver or this many kilograms of animal? Do you have the resources to actually follow through with this? Because it took you 8 hours to get just this much.
It's true. And I actually don't know the logistical scale that we can operate on when it comes to this, right? Presumably we can like get operations up and running to do something like this. But I guess this is just a situation where, like, the way that I've structured this deal is if I can't provide, I don't get hostages back, right? So, like, it's in their interest to, like, I'm basically trying to get them to trade up, right? Like, if they can just hold on to the hostages for a little while, I will start trading them out, right? So I'm not offering them one big bulk purchase. I'm offering to slowly do a prisoner exchange over a period of time. So if I can't produce, they don't lose anything in this deal. And start eating my people. I don't want to see that happen, so I have to come through in this situation.
Okay. I must have misunderstood earlier, but yeah, if you're gonna just do a one-to-one exchange or 4 people to 1 elk, yeah.
And what I was going to say is that if I could somehow, in this initial exchange, get a concession from them to get a couple of our people because they're going to know what the status is of the rest of them. So I really want to get like, we'll give you these like 6 elk or whatever we have. Can I have 3 of our people as just like an initial show of good faith?
Yes, that is something that they can do.
Okay. So I guess we would like to have that happen. So I give them the elk, and in turn, hope that they will provide us a window to transport, or they will transport our people to us and into the hands of security.
Yep, I'll transfer the people to you. And yeah, one of the ships slowly backs up and flies towards the nest as the neutrino levels keep rising and rising very, very, very slowly. And with that, we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break, and we'll see you all back here in a moment.
Well, it sounds like that Nova is going to be a sooner rather than later later thing.
No, really?
the Nightingale team have come up with an accelerated way to beam the hostages out of the bird's nest. But I assume we're going to have physical access, inside the shields, inside the facility to the hostages.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, they've got their runabouts rigged up to essentially be a accelerated transporter type system, if I understand that right.
Yep.
The mass exodus system that we proposed, though, is definitely a Hail Mary maneuver. We don't know that we won't lose people in transport. So if we can just get them to move, it is so much better, right? Like, now that we've shown that we are capable of doing this and that we are perhaps on some level sincere, I'd really like to try and convince them to save their own lives and get out of here. Can we potentially provide them a better location to relocate to? Or even just, no, it'd be better if they picked it, frankly. So,
Right.
So I would like to try and make that the next stage of the negotiation.
Maybe they have a scientist that they respect that we could talk to translate sciencey stuff to.
Possibly, although the lure of lots and lots of food might be able to convince us, whereas like the science thing is kind of a hit and miss thing because of the language barrier. So I'd like to start by just like using their sheer capitalist instinct of wanting to get more food from us.
So provide them with additional elk besides the 2,000?
Yeah, like we could, like right now, I believe that there was a sort of a suggested ratio of like an elk per 4 hostages or something. Like we can sweeten that deal if they'll just move.
Okay. Well, we are back on air now, so so keep the swearing down. Yeah.
All right.
Presence command. They're super skittish. They really don't want to move, but the sweetening the deal makes it a little more possible. And you have developed a rapport with them. And then all right, so that's flat, and then you have like 2 buffs, I believe, or 2 advantages.
The elks might be an additional one. I don't know.
Actually, yes. No, the elks brought this down from 5 to 4. So you have the cultural flexibility and the
preparations. Yeah.
And the preparations.
Mm-hmm. So I would. Is there any way that anyone can feed me more determination?
In theory, if you spend it, Sorrel can spend 3 momentum.
Actually, sorry, go ahead.
Ross doesn't have that kind of spend cost if he hasn't spent his determination yet.
I already spent it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just doing straight pedal to the metal roll here then. So I think I want to throw all the momentum at it if everyone's okay with that.
I think the author was trying to say I do have the XO ability to give you your determination with a 3 momentum spend.
It's a refund on the determination, though. Yeah. But I think the issue is you don't have a determination on you at the moment.
That's what I currently don't have. Yeah. So.
All right.
Just do the straight up roll then. Hope that my very capable stats win the day. I guess. Yeah. I guess we're gonna do it then. All the momentum. My complication range is 2. This is straight up persuasion, so my focuses apply. Let's do this. Please move. Boom. And I can now use bargain to get to sweeten that just a tad more.
One momentum out of that.
But they're presumably going to relocate, and hopefully when we get there, we get maybe a couple of hostages as a show of good faith. And yeah, but they're going to meet us at a neutral location that they choose. All right.
Or
That's a lot of threat.
Yep. Oops, one more. It's weird. I have like threat and momentum in 2 different locations on my computer for things. So one of them starts to agree and go with it, and then the one of the younger ones, one of the guards, or presumably starts yelling and bickering with each other. And in fact, they are yelling and bickering each other in their native tongue. However, everyone has psionic inhibitors. But they're yelling and yelling with such ferocity it cuts through a little bit. I need everyone on the ship to make a fitness is medicine difficulty 2.
Fitness medicine, you say?
Yep, they're just yelling so loudly that it's overriding the psionics.
This is on the Nightingale?
This is on the Gungnir.
Oh, so this would be...
Is this an attempt to influence me emotionally? Because I have strong paw, which would normally reduce the difficulty of attempt to influence me emotionally or intimidate me or interrogate me or something.
No, this is straight up just blasting your brain with psychic energy.
Okay,
Yeah.
Just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, this
I
is
wasn't
a
sure if this
psychic
was like
biker.
dragon fear or something.
Yeah, the more sonic sounds we have, the worse it affects you. If you don't have
Only I started
adapters.
taking my meds earlier. Okay.
You said fitness.
Yeah.
Fitness medicine difficulty 2. Sorrel, Ross, and Kai difficulty 3.
You do this to me every session.
Not being psionically inclined, and then it won't affect you.
It's not even that. It's the darn fitness rolls.
Ow.
Oh.
3.
Well, I am going to give you a threat.
You said comp 2?
No.
I'll take.
Just comp regular. It's difficulty 2 for anyone psionically inclined is difficulty 3.
I just realized I only rolled 1 die. I'm going to roll another one.
Yep.
Onwards and downwards.
Still didn't make it.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm
gonna.
fine.
I'll buy 1 die as well.
By 2. With threat.
Oh no, Vera.
Oh no.
No, not the con person. We might need them later.
Not our poor Orion. Oh wait. It's fine.
Sorrel and Kai, how did you get that? 3 threat?
Yep, 3 threat.
3 threat each? Alright.
I giving author
Yep.
more threat when there's a Nova on the line.
It's fine. It's fine. You can get us away from this.
Not if I'm dead.
Not if he's not
We
going
got-
conscious
we
in the
got-
next 2
We
seconds.
got the additional momentum, so we have 2.
Use...
Was that true? We do have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kai got.
This was difficulty 3.
And Ross, where's your roll?
I was waiting to see if everybody finished up here and what we wound up with.
How do we jump to 3?
Yep. Dr. Kai. Oh wait.
Dr. Kai
Kai's
is difficulty
psionic.
3. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said we got 2 and not we didn't get.
Yeah, two total.
Yeah.
I'll use a point of momentum for a third die.
All right.
Rust. Vera.
I mean, threat's been much higher before. I think we'll be okay.
You've hurt Vera.
I've heard. Actually, that is just a regular fail. It's not a complication. Yeah, she rolled a 19.
Yeah. Did you up the comp?
No, you said it was
Nope.
comp 2.
No, it was difficult. It was difficulty 2. Comp normal. Yeah.
Difficulty 2 comp not at all.
I could swear I heard comp 2. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
I can correct for that.
I double failed, however, so this will be fun.
It's not a double fail. That's just a straight fail. So Atram,
And me.
Desesh, Vera, and Sorrel. All right.
Oh, this is also going to affect Ross because Sorrel and Ross are bonded.
Oh, that's a different issue. All right. So we got 3, and then I spent.
Scandalous.
It was very scandalous how it happened too.
7.
Fraternizing with your crew. I can't imagine.
And this has the intense effect.
It's a logical move to save the then commander.
I'll remember
And
that.
Rerolling only 3.
They called me the liability.
So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 damage and intense 4. And yeah, I'll spend a pick on this. Ross, you take half. So Ross takes 4 damage, everyone else takes 8 damage. And it's gonna cost 6 resources in order for you to stay awake.
I knew I should have re-rolled. Problem is, darn, I use my determination. I could come up with a much worse roll. Trust me. Because like, I'll just take this failure.
Yeah, I'm just being taken out. I think
you also have to remember that if you get hit with psychic damage, it also affects Rost. So you have double pressure.
Yep. So Ross, you feel the psionic pain as Sorrel just gets blasted by this. Yes, so Ross takes 4 stress. Atram, are you willing to spend 6 threat to stay up?
Wait, I'll be knocked unconscious?
You'll be knocked unconscious. You're not dead.
For
You're
how
just
long?
I don't know. Until the scene's over or someone comes get you.
Yeah, it's just fun. And the only other person in the room that can tell them to stop is either their elder or me slamming on one of the buttons.
Am I still? Wait, hang on.
You're still on the ship.
Where am I currently?
You're on the Gungnir.
You're
I know I'm on the Gungnir, but where in the Gungnir?
You're either on deck 4 or section A or in engineering. But the scream was so loud that you got affected with it.
So the entire crew, basically.
The entire crew got hit by this.
Okay. Ow.
Which I'll roll for the crew too.
Sure, I'll pass out. Might as well pull a Worf here and get knocked out immediately.
Thud.
Vera also go unconscious.
Vera, thud. Sorrel.
Thud.
All thud.
They all thud.
All thud. Okay, well, I'm slamming on the button. That means stop.
All right. And for the rest of the crew. Oof. That's two effects. So we're looking at about 40 other people who just pass out on the ship. Right, for now. What's 1/5 of your crew?
Depends on what our crew is.
Yeah,
Doctor's
actually,
about to be real busy.
Doctor's about to get real busy because that's 2 effects on 5. So yeah, we're looking at 100 or so people who just passed out, from psychic damage.
Reports coming across the ship. People have fallen in Jeffrey's tubes.
Someone goofy screams on the way down.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, Dr. Kai, you're awake. Gosh, that hurt. That was like a psionic scream like none other. And suddenly you start getting casualty reports from all across the ship. Ross, you feel the psychic scream itself, and then you feel an echo scream as Sorrel succumbs to the pain, but you're able to kind of withstand through it.
No.
But that still shook you up. And Decession Fox, you are in the room itself, and Fox, you're yelling stop.
Slam on that button, that means stop, yes.
Yeah, President Security. Yeah, diff 1.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just seeing if you complicate.
Yeah.
If you fail this, so help me.
Take 3.
Yes.
Onwards and downwards. And no, I'm not going to keep that comp.
Cause bold. All right. You're able to tell them stop, and the screaming stops. Everyone's ears are kind of ringing. Ow! 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 And Dr. Kai, you're in sick bay, and everything and casualty reports are flooding in.
So I direct my medical team to assist Commander Sorrell first and triage from the upper echelon on down in order to receive, patients into the sick bay and just do standard triage. Does anyone have any questions? I ask my staff.
Pretty standard op, but everyone's head's kind of ringing. So control medicine, difficulty 2, complication 2. Assisted by communication medicine from the ship.
I'll buy 1 die with momentum.
Okay.
And I have a focus of emergency medicine. Would you accept that?
Absolutely.
All right, let it roll. I'm going to use Legion of Honor, which is my medal, to go ahead and quash that complication.
Yep, that is quashed. And yep. And then communications med from the ship.
Oh, from the ship.
Yeah.
You
Ross,
want me
you
to
got
roll
that? Either you are the captain.
All right.
Whoever has it.
Hang on, let me grab it real quick. I can try, I haven't done this before, so what do you want me to roll?
Communications medicine, ship always has a focus on, and it just rolls 1 dice.
So it's just communication, tap communication, and what else? I'm sorry.
And medicine.
Okay. Medicine, and then it's a Starship Task Roll 2.
Starship Task Roll 1.
1 complication range 1.
Yep. And focus, yes.
All right.
Starship always has a focus. That works.
Excellent.
As medical teams' aims are deployed across the ship. Fox and Desesh, you managed to get these people to stop yelling at each other.
He does.
He does.
I'm bleeding on the conference room table.
Author, I wanted to transmit, the highest ranking officers to sickbay immediately, so that would include both commanders.
Yep. Fox, you're in a room with a bunch of angry birds, and you're looking like a pig that can smash. Making a reference to that mobile game from years ago.
You just been holding on to that one, haven't you?
Probably, and I've now taken psychic damage. You know how badly I want to see how much I can break them.
React with restraint, please. I'm unconscious. I can't fix it if things start blowing up.
Yeah, we're very close to the negotiations here, except for, this unfortunate incident.
Do it. Do it.
You see, you left. You decided not to avoid the injury, leaving the literal and figurative hammer of the ship with angry birds. I don't know what you want from me on this one.
Fox, what do you do? There.
Heath.
Listen to the good angel.
The good angel, yes. Don't try anything. It's not worth it. Basically, that kind of idea.
Yep. But yeah, they've stopped and they're fuming and upset, but yeah. But they're not yelling anymore.
Not yelling. They're not trying to attack anybody. That's all I can do.
Okay.
I'm definitely not the diplomat in this situation.
And rebringing all of the named characters to sickbay. Dr. Kai. Who do you start with first?
I want to go to obviously the injury with the greatest, damage to the person, and then I want to cross-reference that with rank. So if you're an ensign, you're really badly damaged, and the commander can kind of wait. That's fine. But then I want to move to the commander if possible. I want to make sure we maintain operational level staff on the starship. So
I think it's important that we get our diplomat back up as soon as we can.
Yes, since that's the captain's priority, I'll certainly assist the diplomat first.
Reason, means, and difficulty 2 to triage them.
All right, can I buy one die?
With threat or momentum?
Let's use momentum, and can I use emergency medicine again for focus?
Yep.
All right. Let me see. Can I use a point of determination for do no harm has many forms to quash that complication?
You can't quash it, but you can and pick up the 2 zeros and re-roll them.
I'll do that then.
Yep, and I will accept that determination spend.
Nice.
That's better. Sorrel has some severe cerebral hemorrhaging, and that's complicating in his situation, but everyone else just has psionic shock.
See. Is there a way I can stabilize Sorrel's condition by using a neural pad? No, that won't work because I need 2 other humanoids of the same kind.
Right. Yep.
So I'll go ahead and monitor his condition and see if there's any way I can improve his condition. Do some research on that. Is he stable for now?
He is not stable.
I see.
So, we need to stabilize him right now.
All right. So I want to attempt to stabilize him then. Can I use his neural stimulator to try to stabilize him?
I don't think you need to stimulate his brain more.
Yeah, his brain is stimulated enough. You need to do the opposite of stimulation.
Right. By stimulation, I mean to stimulate the brain in a way to reduce the stress level that's currently occurring in the brain.
And stimulating it might cause more damage in any way.
It very well may.
And you do have your sick bay advantage.
Correct.
So, that bring the difficulty down to 2. Any other talents or advantages you want to throw at this?
So I'm going to try to use a critical stimulator, just to, to make sure that it can send electrical impulses, but also regulate them to prevent, to keep him obviously alive, but at the same time, obviously regulate the impulse as well, and try a cortical stimulator.
A cortical stimulator would definitely help here.
So I'm going to use a cortical stimulator in an attempt to stabilize his condition.
Yep. Control medicine, difficulty 2. Assisted by sensors medicine.
And emergency medicine is still applicable as a focus?
Yep.
All right. And so can I buy 1 die with momentum?
Mm-hmm.
All right. There we go.
So
you also want... Okay, go ahead.
Yes. You wake up. You're in sick bay.
What am I doing in sick bay?
You have to do the dramatic wake up where you gasp too.
Doctor.
Yes, sir.
What am I doing here? What happened?
There was some type of a psionic attack, and you were overwhelmed. And so we triaged you here in sickbay, sir, and I was able to stabilize you.
Necrovians. I take it negotiations aren't going well.
Sir, I'm unaware, but we can probably assume that it's not the greatest of circumstances.
Am I fit to go back to duty? I have a task that the captain wants me to get on.
Situation, I'll release you to active duty, sir.
I'm sorry, you did reactivate me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to go work on my project.
For 2 momentum, we can and skip over, or no one else has any critical injuries, but for 2 momentum, you can get everyone else back up.
Spend the momentum.
Yep. Vera, you wake up in sickbay.
Oh, okay. How much did I drink?
You're not drunk, but you were overwhelmed. We've stabilized you. How are you feeling?
Was my previous statement not enough?
Very humorous. I appreciate that. I can return you to active duty if you feel well enough, or if you would like to rest, you certainly can do that.
I'll stay here for now, at least. Not like we're gonna need to fly away from like some sort of dangerous thing at any point here.
Rest then. I'll keep you apprised of our situation, and if you're needed, I will let you know.
Yeah, let me know.
Commander Atram, you wake up in sickbay.
Commander, how are you feeling?
Why am I in sickbay?
You were overwhelmed by some type of psionic attack, and I've stabilized you. Do you feel well enough to return to... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Psychic attacks are not honorable.
I would agree. But you were overwhelmed by some type of psychic or psionic attack, and I have stabilized you here in sickbay. Are you feeling well enough to return to active duty? Can you stand up for me?
Yes, I believe I can.
All right.
Stand up.
All right. I'm going to return you to active duty in a limited capacity. Just be careful. Report to me any symptoms that you might experience. Is that understood?
Understood, Doctor.
All right. I release you to duty then.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Spending a 2 threat for raisins.
Putting more raisins in our consoles.
More raisins in the consoles.
If you keep putting more in there, they're gonna get stuffed, and we're not gonna be able to use them.
Just updated that. That's okay. Commander Desesh, you wake up in sickbay.
What happened?
Like everyone else, Commander, you were overwhelmed by psionic or psychic abilities, and it harmed you. And I've been able to
immediately start to fumble around his uniform, and he pulls out a hypo spray and gives it to himself.
Oh,
Commander, I've never had that happen in sickbay, but it's a pleasant surprise.
Do we have? I don't know what shape I'm in, but I probably need to be seen. The deal was in place, but if I am taken off the field, it might not stand. Do you have a wheelchair or something?
Yes, sir. I can provide that for you, of course. And I have a nurse bring over a wheelchair. Sir, how are you feeling? Are you able to stand?
Honestly, I think the wheelchair gives me more credibility anyway, so let's just go with it.
Surprisingly, Desesh, as you try to swing your legs over the bio bed to kind of move to the chair, your legs don't respond.
Well, that gives me even more credibility.
You are numb. You are numb from the waist down, and you're just noticing this.
Commander, this might be a little limited disability that will, you might recover with time. I have no way of knowing. I can return you to active duty only in a limited capacity for you to complete your mission in speaking with, obviously, the Necrovians, and then I need you to rest. Does that make sense?
I'm totally on board, Captain. I just want them to see me. I don't want my disappearance to influence things. Someone else can take over the negotiations. I don't want them to think I don't want them to think the deal's off. That's all.
I understand. As your doctor, if you need to make an appearance with the Necrovians, you certainly can. Although I want you limited to limited duty because you seem to be weak and you cannot stand. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I'm just a prop at this point.
Yes, sir. I release you for limited duty, and then I want you in bed.
Yeah, if someone can get me up there.
Desesh, I am gonna say that this is no means like you're never gonna walk again. I didn't spend enough to break your character, nor would I. But for the rest of the session, at least, legs are gonna be an issue.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be rude enough to.
I will.
I'm going to use that to my advantage.
It's fine. The Nightingale has the technology to rebuild you.
I'm not doing anything. I'll take you out.
I can do it. The Klingon might be a little bit stronger than the Orion.
Wow.
Frank doesn't mean anything for
rude.
Just saying, I mean, it's a big old bulky Klingon warrior who also got dropped.
Okay, right now. Let's go right now. Hold on.
Also, no, don't start a fight with Vera. She will actually kill you.
No, come on, arm right here, right now. She'll put her arm up onto the table.
Oh my God. Dr. Guy, apparently your former patients, are getting an arm wrestling match.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm gonna obviously sedate both of them with a hypo spray.
Oh, really? You're just gonna sedate both of them?
Right. I mean, if you're already entering into a conflict with somebody else, you're not ready for duty. So I'm going to sedate them both. And as Chief Medical Officer, I can do that.
oppose doctor. You can use during medicine. Everyone else can and use during security. Let's go against Vera first. Unless Vera, you're just gonna take the hypo to the neck and not fight back.
Oh no, focus and
I'm
evasion.
seeing all this too, right?
Yep. Yeah, Desesh, you're still in here.
Yeah, I'm just like watching this happen.
Sorrel, you're not far from sickbay. You're kind of seeing this happening as well.
I mean, I start to do this, but I look over to the commander and I sort of shrug. We're like, what do you want me to do?
I'm letting this happen. I just was marveling at the fact that I get to
looking
see
towards his commander.
Anyone who's the aggressor, I want to sedate. If someone's being aggressive, I want to sedate them. That's the only person I want to sedate.
I am not being aggressive. Aggressive. Yes, I'm not being aggressive, for the record.
Very
Yes,
well.
but you're also Klingon,
I'm-
and you just have a natural face of I'm going to be a natural aggressive face. So
Dr. Kai,
Klingon.
give me an insight command or medicine difficulty 1.
Insight command difficulty 1.
Yep, command or medicine.
It is a Klingon versus a former pirate. It was.
Yeah, it's Klingon and Orion, so prejudices abound on this one.
Well, let's just get ahead of this real quick.
I accidentally misrolled. I didn't set the task roll to 2. I set it to 1. Can I re-roll?
Yeah, just reroll. This is obviously not good that the two of them are fighting in the sick bay, but unless they are actually starting to like throw punches, it's a bit of a step up to just hypospray them.
Command in the sick bay, so I think it's well within my authority to do so.
Unless they are actually throwing punches or like hurting other people.
Very well. Then I'll stand down and watch what happens.
Yeah, this is just posturing at this point.
You have the authority to like say, hey, if you're gonna like.
Yeah, I mean, you could stop them and say, hey.
I want to intervene on some level, at least verbally. I want to try to encourage them to stop.
Yeah, you can verbally intervene, but hypospray would be considered escalation.
And I apologize. I thought they were more physical than they were verbal, so I'll intervene verbally with them and try to get them to calm down.
No, Vera was just like arm wrestling contest. That was it. That's what she was proposing. She wasn't proposing, let's go brawl right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood that. I apologize.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of overreacted there. Sorry.
No worries. So I'll just be like, hey guys, settle down. You know, let's be friends.
You want to start a fight, and then don't get into a fight with Vera. She will actually kill you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I pull rank on him and tell him to knock it off.
Yeah, well, I'm a commander, so I'm going to tell him, hey, knock it off. You're in my sick bay, and I'm in charge here. That's what I tell him.
All right. She looks back. Later, though, we'll find out who's stronger here.
Yes, we will. Okay, go to sleep.
Can I get a nurse?
Sure, no problem.
Atrum, are you going to take that? She just challenged you.
There's no honor in this fight.
I think you just insulted Vera more.
Yeah, no, you already insulted my honor.
Get the nurse to roll
Get
me
him,
up
Vera.
the conference room.
A nurse rolled you out.
Sorrel, having walked back into the med bay, having heard this, will look at Vera and say, Vera, are you quite done with the Klingon? I believe we could use your help on the bridge.
Yeah, we'll hash it out later.
I want to keep Vera for one more hour under observation, and then we'll get around the bridge. Seems a little woozy to me.
Rolls her eye.
I appreciate that, Doctor, but time is of the essence. I'm not sure she has an hour.
Very well, Commander. I'll defer to your judgment. I'll let her go. But please keep an eye on her.
Oh, absolutely.
For momentum, you can have a cortical monitor or on her to check for or any activity if you're concerned about her.
Sure, I'll place that on her, just as a precautionary measure.
Yeah, just a momentum.
Oh, come on. She's just like, oh, come on.
You'll be all right, Vera.
Am I not allowed to be mad about somebody saying that I'm... not strong. I mean, I feel
Some
like
words
I'm
of
allowed to be a
comfort.
little bit miffed about that.
I think you are. But duty calls.
I think
yeah,
the only
just-
person you have to worry about being angry on the ship is Fox, because he will actually act on punching things.
Some words of comfort. You'll be all right. Don't worry. You'll be all right.
And with that, Sorrel, Vera, leave the bridge, leave the sickbay. Trom, I'm assuming you're going back to engineering? Or...
Yes. And I'm going
right.
to keep monitoring the neutrino buildup.
And just a quick check-in. Everyone's cool. That was all in character. We're angry at each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Missed opportunity.
Okay. Just making sure.
On my way out, I get the nurse to give me like a sling that I can put my arm in, and like a neck brace.
One momentum, you can get that.
Sure.
Just gotta ham up the injured.
Yeah.
Whiplash.
I'm a lawyer.
Oh, no.
Excuse me for hostages.
Oh no.
Is there anything in in Starfleet? Oh, what's it called? Starfleet protocol about being honest?
Injured.
Isn't that the first duty of a Starfleet officer?
I don't know that I'm not.
That's more of a data thing.
First duty is to the truth.
First duty is to the truth, but that's more of just a guideline.
I don't subscribe to this guideline.
The truth is that I'm sitting in this chair and I'm wearing this. I'm wearing these things. I haven't told them I'm in. Anyway, yeah. At this point, though, I'm not going to be taking the point on the negotiations. I just want to be visible and let Ross try and like get this home.
All
I
right.
have too much faith in that regard.
Hmm?
Ross getting anything home.
Okay, I'm going to work with the Necrovians just to ensure that we move the minimum safe distance from a possible nova.
If you can get the hostage, like show of good faith hostages too, that would be really great. Maybe return with their ship.
Can I miss where we determined the cause of the psychic attack? Like who did that?
It was the birds.
The birds were just yelling at each other, and they were so emotional and so angry that they overwhelmed any psionic dampening you had.
Oh, it was an X.
Yeah, basically, young birds got really angry and forgot themselves.
It didn't look like it was as specifically hostile.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a massive diplomatic faux pas that we can exploit.
Well, it wasn't hostile towards us. It's definitely hostile towards each other.
Yeah. Yeah, and Fox,
This
you
was
would definitely
dangerous
you were
towards us.
Yeah, you were in the room.
Yeah.
You could definitely tell that it wasn't like a directed hostile attack against you guys. It was just a accident.
Yeah, but them yelling
and
still wasn't good, so I had to stop it.
And their embarrassment is
mildly
a weapon we
threatened
can use against them.
Exactly. All right. So Fox, you're still in the room. Probably angry,
leave.
lording over them.
Oh, I am just. If I was a Klingon, I the only way I'd be more intimidating is if I was a Klingon at this point. He looked like he's ready to punch something.
He's filing his teeth.
And
Send in
Ross,
the bad cop.
He's just cracking his knuckles, debating on whether or not to bring in to have one of his security officers bring him his hammer.
Ross and Desesh, you're all in the room. Desesh, you're wheeled into the room, and the birds look curious. They do that head cock thing.
We'll try to explain to them that the psychic outburst actually injured a few of us because of its intensity. We know it was an accident, but try not to repeat it if you could, please.
They expressed, yes, shame and regret, and one of them kind of gets heckled up, and apparently they start speaking to each other again, but the older one, the leader, apparently he shuts him down. And the leader continues, speaking. Shame, regret, some understand, some fear.
I'll try to accept his apology and say thank you for your apology. But it's also really important that we try and move away from the stars and black holes before something bad happens to everyone. And giving my assurance this is not any kind of trick. And you can, of course, choose the location, that we move to, and we'll follow.
Again, some accept, some fear.
Is there anything I can do to assure you that, we won't take advantage of this?
They say distance move no greater than 1 light hour.
Is that a safe distance to move away from this?
Yeah.
An hour.
At any rate, it will give you a light lag of an hour. So, with your FTL sensors, you would have an hour warning before any shockwave would get to you.
And we can move further then if we have to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll accept that.
One thing, though, it might be helpful to leave a probe in the system to monitor and feed the information directly, rather than trying to peer at the star from 1 light hour away. Because at that point you'd be at extreme range. We're talking like Sol to Neptunian orbit.
Okay. I'll contact Commander Sorrell and see if he can arrange for the probe. If he's feeling up to it.
I kept.
Yeah, that can be done. Yeah, that can be done for our momentum. Just something to keep in mind, rather than doing like a difficulty 5 roll every few minutes to see if this star has done anything.
Oh, it makes sense. Yeah.
We'll spend the momentum then.
Yep. Drop the probe off, and very, very slowly, the Nightingale jumps off to warp. Some of their other ships jump off to warp. And the bird's nest slowly, very, very slowly starts turning around. 5, 6.
Well, that's a lot of threat. That's all the threat. So where did it all go?
Don't worry about it.
I'm extremely worried about it.
No. Don't worry about it. If you want threat to be there, I can give him some more. Just let me do things.
I'm scared.
Scared of me spending threat, or scared that he has gotten rid of all this threat?
That he's spending all that threat. Something
It's
bad's gonna happen.
fine. What's the worst that could happen?
Hey,
the last time
Sorrel.
he spent that much threat, half the crew got knocked unconscious.
He didn't
Hey.
spend that much threat to knock you unconscious.
Yes, voice
Hey.
in the sky.
Reason science difficulty E2, assisted by sensor science.
Oh, thank you. That's the kind of rolls I like to make. Sensor operations as my focus. You said difficulty 2?
Difficulty 3.
Difficulty 3. I will give you an additional threat.
One, two, three. Yeah, that big scary thing that we were all worried about was gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's happening.
It's happened.
Right. Yeah.
You have a level 5 shockwave incoming.
Nothing bad is happening.
Captain, the Chekhov's gun. I mean, the Nova has gone off. We have a shockwave incoming at the speed of light.
We'll contact the Necrovians and tell them to jump immediately. The shockwave is coming. And then also jump to the agreed upon coordinates.
They send back SOS, help, SOS.
Okay, then we'll not do that then.
Is this
how are we
the
gonna
time
stop
to
another
activate the
shockwave?
mass exodus?
Figures the science ship jumped away before we needed the science ship to do the thing. Oh boy.
I mean, you can call them back.
They haven't actually left because I'm still here.
Yeah, they're still in the system.
What,
It's just
what do we need to have done?
So the bird's nest is not able to warp out?
Would you like to know more?
I would like to know more.
Control, engineering, difficulty 3, comp 3, assisted by communications NG.
Would you like me to make that roll?
Sure, go ahead.
All right.
Can I assist?
Yes. Trom, how would you like to
I'm
make
assuming
this?
that a focus in warp drives applies here.
No, this is just for opening communications and trying to figure out what's going on.
Oh. Okay, so computers.
Not quite.
Dang it.
You could also activate a crew support. Arthur might be a better fit for this.
I can go ahead and make it.
Or you could just roll without a focus.
I believe Bailey was set up for this.
I am. Take a threat, by the way, because I'm gonna buy an extra dice.
All right.
Okay, so con 3, difficulty 3, no focus used, sadly. Control engineering. Okay, here we go.
And communications engineering and captain's helping.
Control engineering or communications?
Communications engineering for the ship.
Oh, okay.
Womp womp.
Well, the ship still needs to roll, so there we go.
There you go.
All right, we'll quash that complication with that momentum.
you're able to cut through the chatter and get an idea what's going on. Ship needs basically the bird's nest is so slow and cumbersome. It takes their warp core or 5 minutes to spool up.
How long until that shockwave gets here?
Less than that.
4 minutes.
Of course.
We just need to shave off exactly 1 minute.
Desesh, as you can nominally have control of the Nightingale as the captain and everyone else is busy cloning. If you
All
want to
right.
assist.
So the Nightingale, like, we can tow at warp, right? Is it possible that we can get them moving using our own capabilities?
That could be something you can look into.
Given its size, it would take the 2 ships working together to even just get it slightly moving.
Seems
We can
like
just
something
keep it in
we can
front
do
of the
while we try
shockwave.
to figure out something else.
So, I mean, theoretically, talking straight physics here, if they have a navigational deflector up, and we're just hooked onto them, and both of us engage our warp drives, and just like at like maximum warp, we could theoretically, I mean, for lack of a better words, yeet the thing forward, so they'll at least be moving, and then they can get their own warp drive up and running.
We just need to buy them a minute.
Yeah, you just need to buy them a minute, but you're not gonna be able to warp tour them without doing a whole lot of math, because you have to extend your warp bubble around on their craft, and the more ships you have initiating the bubble, the more complicated that math gets.
Yeah. If we do this wrong, we could tear it in half or tear ourselves in half trying to do it.
Yep.
The other gun we have in our holster is the mass exodus contingency, but that is super risky. And we would have to beam them out now too, so I don't even know if we can deal with that scale.
10,000 people who came before, plus probably tens of thousands of them.
I think that we have to do the towing. I think that's the safer bet here.
Is there anything we can do to energize their warp core remotely?
It's possible.
Jump started, if you will.
So this sounds like a time to do a really quick and dirty scientific method. So I've heard a couple theories here. So one is do a warp tow. 2 is to energize their air deflector shields, and then 3 was the yeet.
The mass exodus, yeah.
The mass exodus. Okay. So, we're gonna have a limited amount of time. I'm to crunch the numbers on this. Which theory do you want to go with first? And this is just crunching the numbers to see which one works. Back of the hand math. We're trying to see which one makes it past the post first.
I vote tractor beams.
Atrom?
I'm gonna go with either warp towing or energizing their warp core.
Which one do you want to start calculating first?
I will go for the energizing the warp core.
Okay. So for scientific rolls, we are trying to get it to a specific mysterious number of successes is all around. All right, stream knows what's going on. So, through a series of rolls, you have to cumulatively get this mysterious number. After each roll, 1 minute of time will pass, and I'll either say yes, you got the answer, or inconclusive. At any point after a roll, you can choose to keep going down the math of one path, or you can switch things up and try another path. So you're trying to swing for the fences to get as many successes as you can. Understood?
Okay.
Copy that.
All right. Etrom, do you have a focus as that could apply to energizing the warp core?
Yes, I do. It's called warp drives.
That would work. All right. Do you want to buy resources to get this?
Say again.
Do you want to spend for extra dice?
I'm gonna go with yes. So I will buy an extra dice.
With threat or momentum?
Have a threat.
Okay. One thing with these kind of time tasks, if at the end of each task you can spend in 2 threat or 2 momentum to have the amount of time it takes.
Question: does
Yes?
Miracle Worker apply to this?
What's the specifics of Miracle Worker? I might be able to finagle
Whenever
it.
you use engineering on an extended task, if you achieve a breakthrough and roll at least 1 effect on a challenge die, you achieve a second breakthrough.
This is not an extended task. This is scientific method. That's a different mechanic.
Ah, darn. Okay.
But we will be getting into an extended task. All right, so rolling 3 dice, focus yes. Computers engineering can help, and anyone else can jump in on this as well.
What's the complication range, if there is one?
No complication range. Difficulty is you are swinging for the fences.
Okay. Is this a task roll or is this challenge die?
This is task roll. So it's reason engineering difficulty X. Computer plus NG, and up to, and anyone can assist.
Okay.
Okay. What?
Okay. I guess I'll make the primary roll then.
Yep.
So it would be focus yes, complication range 1 because there's no 0 setting, and then task roll 3.
Yep.
Okay, rolling.
Oof. And there's a comp.
Do you have a reroll?
Can the
there?
Nightingale assist?
Computers engineering for each.
Do you have a reroll there, Atron?
How explain to me how I would have a reroll.
Yeah,
I
do you
don't
have
know
bold
this.
bold
or
engineering?
cautious. No.
I do not have bold or cautious.
Okay.
Do you have a determination?
Let me look.
This would be the time.
Have you spent your determination this section? Is the better question.
I have not yet, no.
You
Thank
got
You'll
one.
have it.
Do you have value?
Well, I could either apply teamwork makes the dream work, or it doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to work.
There you go.
Second one.
Second one. Doesn't have to be pretty, just has to work. Okay, we're applying that.
And you
So
can.
I
can
reroll
with-
these
can I help
zeros?
with-
Is that it?
Yeah.
They're counting. Why is there counting?
Am I able to help with the addition of with using con because I'm at the thing?
Yeah, I'll accept using con.
There we go.
Haha, that is a much better roll.
That is
Okay.
much better.
I'm
all
no
right.
help, but I gave it an attempt.
Let me count all the successes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gain a momentum. This took you 1 minute to figure out. However, you do have a solution. Both you can and get a charged plasma stream into their nacelles, and you'll be able to jumpstart them. This is something theoretically you can do. That took 1 minute of time. We have 3 minutes left on the clock. Would you like to spend 2 momentum to cut that research time in half?
Yes, let's roll with this.
Yes.
I wish I had a clock. That's something I need to get. All right, we are now at 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. Now we need to get into position. Now we're doing an extended task. Which I know the book says don't do 2 extended tasks in the same episode, but I have an engineer miracle worker.
This is an author game. We don't play by the rules strictly here.
There are no
Make it
rules.
complicated for ourselves. We're gonna make it complicated for ourselves.
Go by the book here.
Shh. All right. I'm gonna say this is super complicated. Oh, and that needs to be bigger. All right. So for difficulty, you need to do 4 tasks in here, and you are gonna have some resistance because. And then we need to do daring plus NG. Work track. 4 5 22. All right, so we have an extended task, which will qualify for our miracle work roll. Initial difficulty 4, magnitude 4, or work track 22, daring engineering. And for each roll you make, it will cost you 1 minute unless you can spend 2 resources to cut that down. Good luck. How do you want to do this? Etram, it's kind of on you.
Oh joy. Well, I'm assuming that electroplasma systems focus applies here. Right?
Electroplasma systems or warp drive. Yeah. Either of those focuses
well, I have
work.
both of those, so
Yep.
they will apply. So there's a focus applied. And Miracle Worker is also applying, which is good. I do not like this very much.
Would you like to buy extra dice? Because your initial difficulty is 4.
Yes, as a matter of fact. Well, we don't have any momentum, so take 3 threat. I'm gonna buy 2 extra dice.
We'll max out the threat, at this point.
Daring, and then
There is no max threat. You should know this by now.
there's an infinite amount of threat. All right, so your initial roll is that, and we have 3 threats, so you're rolling 4 dice.
Okay. I am going to roll the thing.
One, 2, 3, 4, and
Can I assist?
yes, you can assist, and Nightingale and the Gungnir engines engineering.
Can you use a
Okay.
focus on assist?
Yeah, if you have an applicable focus.
Either Starship Power or Starship Propulsion.
Oh, either one of those, easy. Starship power. And then the assist from the 2 ships.
And that was engines engineering?
Correct.
Okay.
Gain A2 momentum. Go ahead. Atrum, you have an engineering 5, so roll me 7 challenge dice. We want as many numbers as possible.
That was not great.
For 1 momentum, you can reroll.
I will do that, yes. Am I rolling the whole thing or all the zeros?
As many as you want.
Okay, I will reroll all the zeros, so that's 5 dice.
Yep. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 6 work minus the 3 resistance. You're doing 3 work right now. For 1 momentum, you can punch through 2 of the resistance and put 5 work on the board.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
5 work on the board, and you have Miracle Worker, so you get 2 breakthroughs. As you're able to coordinate yourself over their air nacelles, and you've set up a power transfer beam, aim both ships to both sides of the nacelles, and you're just pouring power into this thing. Clock is now at 2 minutes 30 seconds. And
So we do it again, right?
Yep, do it again. Daring engineering difficulty is now 3, 4, 5. Difficulty 5, engines engineering.
And you can have 3 of that. You can have 3 of those threat tokens back because I'm once again buying 2 extra dice.
Bold move, Cotton.
Did the difficulty go up?
Yeah, I spent 2 increase the diff.
Well, that's not nice.
Okay,
So the GM
I'm
had to be
going
nice in this
to
situation.
roll again and see what happens.
Nice. Oh no.
Not nice.
This is why we can't have nice things, Rost.
And then the 2 ships assist.
Same roll?
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Both did it.
No.
2
Oh,
complications. Oofta. But you do
No,
succeed. Do you have any means of getting rid of that?
How does one go about getting rid of
Hold on.
complications?
On assists? I don't even know that it can be
I don't think we do.
I'm going to use my Legion of Honor.
You have to be primary A roller.
Yeah, all those things have to
You're not primary.
fire on primary.
Or
Yeah.
It's the problem with assists.
We don't have technical expertise. And we don't have any momentum. And Ross can't do anything.
Those
Darrell
are
can't do anything.
They're firing.
if I gave my determination to Dash earlier, I can't use it then, right?
Yeah, what determination?
Even if you had one, it couldn't. It can't be done. This is it. They're firing. 2
All right.
comps.
2
Voice
comps.
of-
Go ahead and roll that 7 challenge dice. 1, 2. So 3, 4, 5. Not enough for a breakthrough. You're doing like 2 work right now.
We don't have any way to do anything about that.
I think we may be about to witness several tens of thousands of people, beings dying.
Nah,
Time
you
to
got
invoke
this.
the mass exodus.
We have a few more ticks left on the clock. It's
You have
fine.
few more ticks.
We have exactly 2 ticks if we have it somehow.
How many ticks does it take to invoke the mass exodus?
Too many ticks.
You would need at least 3 ticks.
We don't have that.
And we're already down to 2?
Yeah.
Okay, we're playing for all the marbles then.
We're playing for all the marbles. Daring engineering. Let's go difficulty 3. Just keep it simple. Engines engineering.
Yeah, I'm getting out of my wheelchair at this point. I'm going to roll 2.
You
Yeah, I
try to
think
get out of your wheelchair and you fall on your
If
face.
we're rolling for all the
breaking your nose.
things, then I am just gonna spend however much threat it is to be rolling 5 dice.
6 threat it is.
Everybody's
This is
pounding consoles.
This is the
Can
time
we-
to do it.
Can we assist on this roll?
Yep.
I can punch the console, but I don't think that would help any.
That's what you needed.
Boom, boom, boom.
After the hang up last time, you're finally getting some momentum.
Oh shoot, what's
We're gonna
the
spend
roll
some
for ships?
Engines engineering for the ships.
Okay.
70, 10. So we got 10 successes on difficulty 3. You got 7 momentum. All right, 7 challenge dice.
You can
Yeah, I think a reroll.
1 momentum for
Yeah,
reroll.
I'm gonna be re-rolling those 4.
Yep. Probably a good call there.
And 1 more for pairs.
All right, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Currently doing 4 work for 1 momentum. You can punch through 2 of the resistance and put 6 on the table.
do it.
Spend it.
All right. That is +6, and got 1 breakthrough, and Miracle Worker another breakthrough. Would you like to spend 2 momentum to half that time?
Yes, let's do that.
That only took 30 seconds. Shoot. I don't think I can take that away from you. All right.
I'd still steer clear of spending any momentum for the rolls. I needed to keep it open.
All right, 4, 6. All right, as with 1 minute left on the clock, their warp coils are fully primed and ready to go. And they're ready to jump out. However, the shockwave is closing in on you.
Get chewing.
Let's go for old beans. One. Let's go for old beans.
Go for some of the beans. You had to go for all of them.
Not our beans.
Oh no.
We need those. How are we supposed to have Taco Tuesday without our beans?
After you gave us all these raisins, you're giving us beans?
I was about you beat me to it, Vera. Nice.
Hey, Vera. Guess what we need to do?
Leave.
Leave in a hurry.
Do I need to roll for the Nightingale?
The Nightingale can and assist and just kind of like get caught up in all this since you don't have a dedicated con officer.
Step one. I'm going to argue for precision maneuvering because if I fail this, we collide, 1, with each other, and 2, with the shockwave.
Fair.
Sounds precise maneuvering to me.
All right, that brings down the difficulty.
Mm-hmm. Second, trait hair trigger, seeing as this is the time crunch.
Yep. With that bringing down the difficult complication.
Let's bring down the difficulty.
All right.
Now we're gonna give you 1 threat, and I'm going to
only 1?
Use 2 momentum.
What? Okay.
1's all I need.
1 threat, 2 momentum.
And boop. Vera!
Boom! Boom!
Every time. Every time.
And then both ships can assist.
Is it going to be both ships hitting 0, like always?
What are the ships rolling? Sorry?
Engines con.
Okay.
This is what happens every time. Vera needs to make a clutch roll. The ships do nothing.
The ship,
our ship has done nothing.
Hey, the Nightingale helps.
The Nightingale helped us.
Yeah, can we switch ships?
All right.
No, we need this ship
3.
because of our missions.
To spare the fleet.
As all of you everyone jumps to warp, or just as this a shockwave of X-rays and rolling plasma and gas sweeps over the location you were just at, you're able to jump to the edge of the system.
Oof. Well, out of there.
Did we live?
We lived.
Everybody but Ross lived. Happy ending.
Everybody lives.
That's a sad story.
Please tell me that absolute abomination of a ship made the jump intact.
I don't have enough threat to break it.
See, This is what happens when you don't let me do things. You don't get enough threat to hurt us.
No, that worked out exactly how I wanted it to.
So be a man on your own time.
Hypothetical question: what happened to those 2 complications?
I just gained threat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's a merciful God.
Yeah. If when I get complications, I can either use them immediately for about the cost of 2 threat, or I can just take 2 threat if I can't think of anything.
Okay.
But we need to get to our somber music.
Oh.
As with all of that done, and once the dust settles, after seeing what you are willing to do to help them out Disesh, the Necrovians are willing to negotiate and they're willing to start letting people go in exchange for the clone elk. And they're also interested in possibly looking into other alternatives for a longer term solution for their nutritional needs.
Yeah, we over the course of, I guess, the next week, montage style, we get to the point where the system is working well enough that the negotiation will get to the point of how could we assist you in being sustainable without preying on your neighbors, and being able to create a system whereby they can support themselves. And the Nightingale is willing to sort of be the intake of the various people, so that we can bring them in as we produce elk. We bring in patients, and that should make it reasonably manageable. I also offer to essentially beam over supplies so that we can feed the hostages while the exchange is happening.
Captain, did you tell the Nightingale about the Ferengi?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we kind of made a deal with the Ferengi.
Ferengi's gonna come back in another session.
Yeah.
Why have you made a deal giving them elk and not going through me?
Well, we can work out an arrangement with them to deal with the elk.
We just gave him transport rights, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some applicable rules of acquisition to explain what we did.
And so long as he's involved in the supply chain somehow, so we can profit, that's all he cares about. He doesn't have to be the sole proprietor of the technology, so long as he can transport it.
Yeah, the Nerthians can clone the elk.
But with that opened up, it seems like next week, actually this Nightingale plays on Sundays, I believe.
Yep.
This Sunday, we'll see the thrilling conclusion into this as we see what the specific nutritional needs of the Necrovians are that make them prey on a large beast, and how the 10,000 people have lived and survived next to the Soylent Green machine.
The doctors are in.
The doctors are in, and now we're at the point where the doctors would be super helpful.
Stick your head in that machine and see what it does.
No.
Thank you very much, Arthur.
Yep, and with that, the credits will roll. Oh, be sure to catch us this Sunday here on Twitch. I'll be sure to at least loop in the video recording so we can get the second half of this story on our playlist on YouTube. Thank you to our awesome players. Thank you for the Nightingale for showing up and helping, and yeah, of course I can't end a game without blowing something up, and look, I blew something up. I am very predictable. Music, as always, is provided by Kevin Macload. You can check out his royalty-free music at comptech.com. As always, we are forever grateful to Gene Roddenberry for giving us the tall ship, and Modifius is for giving the stars to guide us. Until next time, fly true, stay safe, and take us out.